Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Blathering Backstage. I am producer Steve. No big show tonight, so I am here filling in on the backstage to keep everybody company, give you guys something to do on your Saturday evening, give me something to do on my Saturday evening. So I appreciate everyone being around and hanging out. We've got some fun stuff planned for this evening. I am very excited. If you are here and hanging out, thank you again. And like the video, call in if you would like to share or contribute. We have a few things that I'm looking forward to talking to folks about. I want you to call in with your favorite video game. I want you to tell me all about it. I'll talk about some of my favorite games in a kind of list order as we go through calls. The professor, Dr. Addie, is here this evening. She is going to call in with the Taylor Swift report for the first Taylor Swift report here on the Blathering Backstage. It might be the only one, I doubt it, but it's the inaugural Swift report. And like I said, we'll take calls on favorite games and other things that you want to talk about. Come in with anything you want, any subject, any topic. It's an open forum here. The call-in link is pinned in the chat. And if you need me for some reason to post it again, just say so. We will. But welcome, everyone. Welcome, Detective McCarcel. Welcome again, Addie. Jared the TIE Pilot. Brady is here. Laserbolt is here. Crafted Jedi is here. I saw earlier James Holmes checked in. Thank you so much, James, for checking us out later on. I know it's a wee bit late where you are, so thank you so much for chilling. Tully is here as well. It is a jazzy Saturday. Indeed, Addie says we're in a treat, and I know we are, especially when we start talking Swift. So we're gonna get to that. So, and I know Detective McCarcel said he might be an early night for him, so we'll try to get you in here early to talk your favorite game, and then for whoever's here towards the end, so feel free to call in whenever you want and hang out in the lobby if you'd like. But if you're here at the end, we will spin the wheel, and I got some new wheel topics. We got some new topics on the wheel. I think we might preview some wheel topics a little bit before we start, just so you guys can like rack your brain a little bit. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Brady. Brady says we missed you yesterday. Yeah, sorry, I'm 3 hours ahead of you guys and on the other coast. I'm sure you guys had fun. Brady, I'd love for you to call in if you're available and tell us all about last night. Give us like a report on the scene. That would be amazing. If anyone else is tuning in that was also at Ken's show last night, please call in and give us a good report. I'm sure it was fun. But anyway, so that's kind of what we're looking at this evening. So we'll get to calls here in a few minutes. Sorry for the mic squeak. I'm just moving around. We're getting comfy here. That's what we do. Oh man, look at me. My camera angle is terrible today, guys. I didn't like zoom in or anything. But we're going to, do we have any word on Ken's? Oh, that's a great question. And actually, this brings up one of my first topics. And it's like a good segue into my other topic. So let me do this real quick. Much better. I just want to cut off the, oh man, no, now my head's cut off. Oh, there we go. I just want to cut off the edge of the couch there. So anyway, I have a thing about this. I have a story about what I think is a good idea for Ken, what's gonna put all of us over the top. And I was gonna talk to him about this anyway, but I'm interested to see what the people's take is on such a thing. I was at dinner last night, and oh, it's okay. Well, it was a wee bit wide. I was at dinner last night, and the little town we were in was supposed to have like a live festival type thing going on, right? And so, but it was like storming like crazy. We had really bad storms, and so they canceled the outdoor portion of this, and everything was inside. So the family and I were at the restaurant, and at this Mexican restaurant in the town center, you could call it. And we walk in, and there's like a bunch of people kind of crowded in the back in the bar area, and there's like a whole live music set up. We've never seen live music at this place before, right? So this was a surprise. Anyway, this like country music singer was there, and she was apparently on American Idol at some point. but she was a local girl, and she's, was expecting to play this like outdoor venue. Not festival is a big word, but it was, just like a big outdoor neighborhood, big block party. You could easily have hundreds of people there, no problem. And we've been to it when it's been, that crowded before, right? So pretty good venue for someone who's kind of like just starting out, right? For someone who's, maybe not just starting out, but if you're on American Idol, you're doing pretty good. But you know what I mean, right? Like they're kind of getting known, putting their name out there. Anyway, I was like, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is a little sad. Like here you are playing to this very half-empty Mexican restaurant, and not really a whole lot of people other than your little cohort of folks that are clearly with you or like actually paying a whole lot of attention. But then I see she's got like this whole tripod set up on the stage, right? And the way she's got it like angled and everything, because the way we were sitting, we were like kind of almost behind her. We could see like the stage or whatever. We could see her phone, and she's playing to TikTok, right? And so it kind of like hits you all of a sudden, like, yeah, it's cool and all that, it's too bad that, she could have like played outside to a whole bunch of people and everything. But even as she's doing these live shows, the people who were actually there in attendance were just ambiance. We're not like even the real crowd really. Because then I look up this girl on TikTok, and again, this is a relatively small artist. She's someone who plays breweries and stuff on this region, and she's playing to like 500-600 people all of a sudden on TikTok, like for this live period while she does 3 or 4 shows, and then she takes or 3 or 4 songs, and she does a break for a little bit. And I'm sure this is like so obvious and very clear to like everyone and anyone who does this sort of thing, but it just kind of blew my mind that it was like, oh wow, like what was used to be like would have been like a sad kind of, not even sad, but just like not as exciting experience where you're not getting so much exposure. You're just doing a TikTok concert and your live concert every time you're live out there, and that's amazing. And she did a great job like doing crowd work, but she's talking to the camera. She's talking to TikTok, which was interesting. So I was just like, wow, that's a whole other social relationship with how people do music and concerts and stuff like that. That was just wild to me. So I'm believe me, I'm sure I'm way out of. I'm sure, yeah, different clubs and stuff have different rules about that. So, but it was just like a thought that like came to my mind, like, oh my gosh, talk about like this. Everyone has to be doing this. It was my immediate thought. Like everyone who's in the entertainment, who's trying to do shows for themselves and kind of get themselves done, has to be doing this, because you're just exponentially multiplying the exposure you're getting. And the live venue is just your setup, it's your ambiance, if you have live people clapping, and even if a room of 10 people sounds like 100 when you're in a little setting like that. So it's really cool. I just thought that was very interesting. Eddie says, just stop streaming from theme parks, please. I get that. Yeah, when you're in the public, it's not even a public place, like people paid to be there. That's a weird spot. Like it just, if you're going to stream, at least make it easy so that I don't have to be involved if I don't want to be. That's all. So I hear you, Addie. I hear you there. Anyway. So yeah, see, okay, so thank you, Osvetnik. This makes me feel better. I've never seen this before. I didn't know people did this. This makes me feel better, because I just assumed everybody was already doing this, and I was just an idiot. So that's all. And Brady says Joseph's B-Day show is a different venue. Yeah, I imagine it's a venue thing. I totally imagine it's a venue thing, and it's an artist thing. Some folks don't want their stuff online because they, have, it's important to go to the clubs and support that economy, and I totally get that. So totally get it. So anyway, so like I said, we're gonna that kind of dovetails a little bit into the story I was gonna tell about just like discovering TikTok this week, but I think I might save that for another show, because I kind of want to hear like Ken's opinion on that too. But shortly, I was doing some blathering research for a little thing I'm working on, and decided to just create a completely vanilla TikTok account to see, okay, if I am just Joe Schmo white guy on the street and I create a TikTok account, what is the internet gonna feed me, right? Like, what do you got, right? Like, how bad is this gonna be? So I immediately was like, okay, this explains a lot. That was kind of my first reaction was this. Did you feed you guys? So yeah, you're absolutely right. It fed me so much more than red hats. It fed me red hats. It specifically fed me hot chicks in red hats first, telling me why liberal dudes are such wussies and like why they would never date them. That was probably what it fed me the most off the bat, which I found kind of funny. And then it fed me a bunch of dudes like in sunglasses, like filming from their truck, telling me kind of the same thing, same message, but a bit of a different messenger. And then as you kind of get through that, the rest of it was then crypto bros telling me like, here's how to make a bunch of money on it. It was immediately went from that to here's how to make a bunch of money on TikTok. Here's how to get like all your followers and make a bunch of money on TikTok. Mind you, this account has never posted anything, has never done anything, and that's what it did. So then no, see, they didn't call me a beta cuck yet. See, detective, they didn't call me a beta cuck yet because I didn't tell it anything I liked yet, right? I just consumed. Whatever it fed me, I was like, all right, we're gonna see what it is. And these algorithms are absolutely, whether it's the algorithm being tweaked or it's just there is investment in bot farms and creators to make certain things so that the algorithm gets weighted certain ways. I completely believe that something like that is happening. But as you start to tell it not interested, that's the only thing I really did to then like influence anything, right? Still wasn't posting anything. I didn't even like anything. I didn't follow anything. I just would hit not interested on things. And oh, how the tables turned from like, it quickly went away from just giving me everything Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk to people shitting on Charlie Kirk and people shitting on Ben Shapiro. And so it was like, okay, so you're not over here. Let's go over here and see, do you like any of this stuff? And so the whole point of just like not telling it what you like and just having it kind of telling it what you don't like and just letting it feed you the stuff was a very funny experience. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of that with you guys, and I'll talk about that with Ken too, because the findings were very interesting. It's just really sad. It goes to show you just how much trouble the kids are in, and it's a lot. Let me tell you that, folks. It's a lot. Holy hell. Oh, and also just like the stuff masquerading as porn but not actual porn. That was another big one that just showed up randomly. Just a lot of stuff that you would think is like almost like they're just trying to get around certain rules, and whether it's different states or what's allowed on TikTok, what have you, right? That was surprising. Again, never feeding anything into this thing of what my search patterns or anything like that is, and that's what it gave me. So yeah, porn, red hat stuff by hot chicks, red hat stuff by dudes in pickup trucks and Oakley sunglasses, and crypto bros telling me how to get rich on TikTok. That is exactly what it was. That's what it was, and it was eye opening. It was eye opening. Yeah, it's, you know what it was. It's like this generation's version. You remember how we used to go into the woods and there would be like a stash of like someone's old like treehouse or clubhouse, and you would just find like a dirty, like a Playboy or like an FHM magazine or something like that, like just randomly, with like a bag of paintballs or something, and like maybe a little like really old weed or like a busted like weed pipe. That's that version. That's just this generation's version of that now, is they can just find that explicit content, online masquerading as something else. So yeah, it was quite the experience. Welcome JMB, welcome, glad you're here. Yeah, like we said, yeah, Sean McCabe, stand by me, see you. Yeah, absolutely right. Welcome everybody again. Just we're hanging out here on Saturday evening. No Ken tonight. We are doing a little blathering backstage to fill in the gaps. We're going to talk favorite games. Addie's going to give us a Swift report. We're going to spin the wheel. All sorts of good stuff. You see, yeah, Jambi, that's part of the backstage magic, right? It's unpredictable. But honestly, no, to give you a little bit of structure, for shows like this, typically we're gonna, and thank you everyone who's hanging out in the green room here. I'm gonna get to you guys soon. We're gonna start taking calls, and I'm gonna stop you happening on my own in a second. We're gonna probably do shows like this at 9 o'clock when we do them. So just so you know, I'm East Coast, so the later start's a little bit better for me. We're not going to go 3 hours every time. I like kind of that 2 hour window. That's a good little sweet spot, because it's longer than the blathering shows, but it's not, a total. Please don't call me Girl Steve. That's kind of funny. Sorry, my lips are very dry. 9 o'clock is a good start time for us. We can go 2 hours and it still not be super late for people. Addie can still get to bed at a reasonable hour when she needs to, stuff like that. And the times you might see this stuff go like totally randomly live is if I ever like start playing games on it, even though I've threatened to do that pretty much every time I've gone live here and still haven't done it. But that is when you'll see like actual Gorilla Steve is, randomly at 11:30 at night or 12 o'clock at night. I'm going live like playing Rocket League with the boys, or I'm playing like Magic or some Star Wars game or something like that. So we'll talk about favorite games here in a little bit. But that's kind of that's the real random stuff. But for the backstage shows, we're going to fill in the gaps on days that Ken doesn't have a show, or on days where he just cancels or would have had a show like a Saturday. So. But yeah, Fridays are good nights for him. Saturdays, you tend to do weekends, but we might fit in some weekday shows here and there. So, but thank you everyone for sticking around. Call in. I want to hear about your favorite video game, and then I want some more folks to get in here and spin the wheel, because we got some cool new wheel topics. But anyway, and don't forget we've got the Swift report. So that's we would all bury the lead. So we're gonna get, so the order of things that we're gonna do this here is I'm gonna get to McCarcel first here, because I just want to make sure that we give him time and everything, in case he's gotta go sleepy early, and then we will get into the Swift report, and then after the Swift report we will take calls on video games. So give me your favorite calls. We got Jared in here. Brady's hopefully going to call in at some point and give us a report on Ken's show last night, and I'd be very interested to hear what Brady's favorite game is. But anyway, also the other thing too is if you are here and you're in the green room and you don't want to be on camera, just to make this easy on me, before you come on, just like I tell you to come on or whatever, if you don't want to be on camera, just turn your camera off before I bring you on the stage, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. We're still figuring shit out, guys. Yeah, Addie, we're going to spin the shit out of that wheel. Don't you worry. We're going to spin that wheel. See, I love this. Bring on the game recommendations, folks. Anything in the chat that you've got for us, bring it on. Vermintide 2 is on sale for $3. Yes, I've played that before. If you like Warhammer and you're into that Left 4 Dead style game, I would recommend that for $3. I played it a little bit. It's not totally my bag. It's not.
I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
It's not totally my bag, but it's it's up there. Like, I like those kinds of games, but that one specifically isn't great. That sound didn't sound like very loud on my end, but it might have been loud for you guys. So if it was, I'm sorry. If it was too loud, I'll turn it down. Anyway, so that's yeah. Steam always has such solid days. They really do. It was quiet. Okay, good. I'll make it a little louder then. We're gonna do a game night here soon for something. I don't know if it's gonna be Vermintide, to be honest, but we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. And Mario Kart. Okay, yeah. If you're, Addie, are you on the Switch train? Like I caved and pre-ordered a Switch, so that might be what I'm doing Thursday during Ken's show. We'll see. I am excited for that. I'm a huge Zelda guy. Anyway, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring on the soundbite was quiet because the back. Oh, that's why. That makes perfect sense. See, this is why we learn, folks. This is why we learn. So we gotta remember to turn that shit off when we do the soundboard stuff. Got it. I wish my background music was on the same thing, because then I can mute them with the same button. But StreamYard, what are you going to do? All right, Detective, it is about time for you to come on. Are you thumbs up with camera? Thumbs up with camera. All right, I want to hear about your favorite video game. I want to hear about anything else you want to talk about this evening, and then we will go from there. So here we go. Without further ado, the Detective, Mr. McCarcel, how are you doing this evening, and what's up?
And I'm just trying to mentally prepare for big life changes, so.
Anything you want to share or are willing to share? I mean, I don't want to pry.
I already put it in the chat. My fiance's moving to start medical school, and it just means that we'll have to be long distance for about 2 years or so, because I'm stuck down here in Baton Rouge, still finishing my degree.
Yeah.
So not anything like crazy, but it's just something we got to do to get to the future.
I'll say it for you. That sucks. I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. I've never had to do a long distance thing like that, especially for so long. But
Well,
you sound like you've got a good plan for it. So
yeah, and she's not even moving out of state, so it's not like I can't see her. So I can see her every few weeks, but it's just we see each other every day. But it is what it is, and we'll make it through.
all right, man. Well, yeah, you will. You absolutely will. All right. Well, what else is on your mind this evening? Or do you have a favorite game you want to share, or is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
I think I've got a whole thing on that I've actually been thinking about nerd stuff and nostalgia, but I want to wait till Jared's here because I don't think he's here tonight because he's probably the only person that would appreciate the
TIE pilot.
Oh wait, he is here. Never mind.
Oh, he's here. The TIE pilot's here.
It's a whole thing about Power Rangers.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
okay,
I'll cut it. I'll keep that for another night. But we just stay on topic, and I'll start by saying I'll put the Batman Arkham games on a shelf, kind of a Hall of Fame thing. Those are the first one came out when I was in high school. I was the perfect age to just be insufferable and obsessed with those games. So I'll put that on a shelf for now, and I'll say one that a series of games that I think doesn't get the recognition it deserves because the company that made it has just done a lot since then. But the Jak and Daxter games were some of my absolute favorites growing up.
Jak and Daxter, that is a good one. That's an underrated gem too. Those things the Jak and Daxter games reminded me of just when those PlayStation consoles came out in a sense. Because I just so associated them with. I mean, they are like they're PlayStation like exclusive games, but I don't know. It's just like that and like Spyro and just like stuff that I so associated like hanging out Saturday morning playing on my PlayStation 2. Yeah, those were. Oh yeah. And they don't make a lot of good like platformer games like that. And that sounds so cliche to say they don't make those games the way they used to, but yeah, I think I guess a new Ratchet and Clank came out like somewhat recently, and that was really good. But that's a good pull, Jak and Daxter. And how many of those were there?
So there were 3. There was a trilogy.
Okay.
And then there was a PSP game that was just Daxter that took place in between the first and second games.
Okay.
If you remember the second game, it starts with Jak being in prison and breaking out of prison. And Daxter like. At the beginning of the game, Daxter like sneaks into the prison and you join him there and you go together. But the Daxter game is just him leading into breaking into prison to break Jak out of prison.
Right.
And then there was Jak X, which was a racing game, which I still thought it was good. It wasn't quite as fun for me because I'm just not great at driving in video games. So it just I still enjoyed it because it was just part of the series. And then there was one other PSP game called, I think it was like Frontiers or something. Lost Frontier, maybe. I think I see it somewhere in there.
What was that? Wait, the
like
PSP game?
Yeah, so the PSP game was like Lost Frontier or something like that. I own it, never played it because my PSP died on me. Yep, that one right there.
All right.
Oh wait, it was on PS2 as well.
Yeah, looks like it.
Maybe
I remember these games. I remember the little. What is the little? Does he have? What is that? Like, okay, is Jak the little? I don't know what to call him. I don't want to offend him.
So Jak's the main character, the one that looks like a buff Link.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Daxter is I don't remember the actual species. It's a made up species.
Okay, it's just a little alien thing. Yeah. Right. All right. Got it.
He starts as another person, but in the first game at the very beginning of the first game, he falls in some ooze and like turns into that.
Right. So, yeah. Okay. Got it. Hence the jean shorts. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. So he's just a mouthy little shit.
Yeah.
Forever.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, that's a good. That's a good
all
pull.
Those games, but it's some of the worst vehicle controls I have ever encountered in video games, like by a long shot. And the second game was like, it came out at peak early Grand Theft Auto, like Grand Theft Auto 3 era. So a big part of that game was stealing vehicles all around this city and just piloting them around. But the controls were so floaty. And there was an entire section where you had to race around the entire map, or at least the main map. And it was atrocious. It took me. I probably took several days as a kid to just beat that one race. It was fucking bad.
Oh man.
Jak
Oh
3,
man.
awesome. Basically Mad Max. It's fucking great. Loved it.
I've heard good things about Jak 3. I've heard good things about Jak 3.
Exactly.
Okay, so solid trilogy overall then. That's also rare to get three games that are all really good. So
yeah.
very nice. Well, that's a good poll. Jak and Daxter. Wasn't expecting that one this evening.
Yeah, Jared, I'll save the Power Rangers one for another time. I got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Soon.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't want to take all your energy, and that gives me juice for next time. So don't let me forget. We'll do Power Rangers next time for sure. I've got a couple good Power Ranger stories.
All right. Well,
very good. Well, Detective, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. I hope you hang out for a little while longer, and then you take care tomorrow.
Got like 30 minutes, so yeah, I'll be around.
All right, buddy. All right, thank you again. Alrighty, so thank you again to the Detective. Thank you everyone who is hanging out with us. If you are here, feel free to call in. The link is at the top of the chat. We're going to talk a little bit more about favorite video games. But first, before we do that, we're going to bring in Addie here in just a few minutes, or in just a minute here or so, and talk Taylor Swift. I've got a couple of images that Addie shared that she sent me, so I'm going to get those pulled up so that we can make that nice and easy. What beer do I have? This is the same beer. Great vamping question, Jared. Thank you. This is the same beer I always have. The Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager, and that is because it tastes just like Yingling, or at least pretty close to it. But it's not made by the Yingling family, who give a shit ton of money to Donald Trump. So that's why we like it. I'm trying to pull up the pictures here on my screen share so that we can show the beautiful thingies that Addie shared with us, so it all makes sense. Let's see here. Screen share. Entire screen. That one. Haha. Okay. Boom. All right. So without further ado, we are going to head on to the Swift report. And with the Swift report, we not only have Addie to come in and tell us all about it, we have special news for the Swift report. So I am very thankful. Addie, are you good with camera for this Swift report? Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much. Without further ado, welcome the Professor Dr. Addie to Blathering Backstage. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Addie, there is important Taylor Swift news that has been all over the place. This is stuff that has made local news. This has made national news. They're talking about it in the schools. They're talking about it in the streets. And you've got the scoop, and I've got some images here to go along with what you've got. But if you have anything to share, just let me know. But Addie, I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you fill us in on what is going on with America's Princess.
All right, guys. So you might remember from the Blathering last Monday when I was watching many screens at the same time. Everyone was expecting a big announcement at the AMAs, and then the AMAs turned out to be the weirdest award show that has ever been aired on television, which is a rant for a different time.
Pincushion that, because can we rant about that right after you're done with Taylor? Because I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes.
Okay.
I also need to tell you my algorithm journey that also has to do with Taylor Swift.
Terrific.
But so nothing happened. There was no news. There was no announcement. In part because Taylor didn't win a single AMA, which is also a different pin.
Okay.
So all the Swifties continued. They took their clown noses off once again. I think I mentioned. So for those of you who are new here, clowning is what we call it when everyone gets excited about the little Easter eggs that she drops in things and tries to put all the clues together to figure out what the heck is going on and what she could possibly be doing. Everyone took their clown makeup off. They took their clown noses off. It was a very sad May 27th through about May 29th. And then yesterday, joy of joys, day of days, Mother unexpectedly left us pictures on her Instagram after 149 days of silence on Instagram. And
Oh, no, Daddy, I have to stop you really quick. I know who Mother is, but I'm not sure if Jared in the chat knows who Mother is. Can you make sure that we need to. This is the lore. We need the lingo to foundation the lore.
Mother, the way that Pedro Pascal has become daddy.
Oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Taylor Swift is mother.
Got it.
So.
Understood. All right, you got that, Jared?
Not in the same way though. Not with the same connotation.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so say you.
So anyway, so Mother posted these lovely photos, some of which I sent you, and informed the world that she has. Yes, we call her Mother. She has bought back her masters, which was a whole debacle. This goes back to 2019. So in 2019, Scooter Braun, who is a retired manager because all of the stars he managed dropped him as their manager, so he was forced to retire, bought the Big Machine Records, which was the record company that owned that Taylor Swift signed with when she was 15. And owned all of her masters, which is all of the original recordings of all of her songs, and would not sell them back to her, at least not for any like reasonable contract or rate or whatever. And so she went on the Odyssey that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, of re-recording Taylor's version of these albums. And that is what everyone was expecting at the AMAs. She had 2 Taylor's versions left to record. One of which is very prominently displayed in this photo here, and I have here Reputation, one of her best albums ever, Fight Me, and also her debut album called Taylor Swift. And so the whole thing was she needed to still take back her name and reputation, but now she has bought back her masters, so she doesn't have to do that anymore. She, in part, bought back her masters with all the money she made on the Eras tour, which I just think is hilarious. Like, she was able to afford to do that because of the amount of money she made while on tour.
The crazy thing, she didn't already have the money to do that. If you had told me, I would have thought even before the tour, she could have just bought it for pocket change. But it just goes to show you, Taylor Swift's 6 original albums, probably cost. So that means. Honestly, okay, I would love to play the number on this. Those things probably cost north of $500 million.
So Shamrock Capital, which is the investment group that owned them after Scooter Braun no longer owned them anymore. The news had broken a couple weeks ago that they were interested in selling them, and the price tag that was put on them was between $600 million and $1 billion.
Okay, I wasn't that far off, actually. That's not terrible. Okay, go ahead.
Reports are that she bought them. Shows Shamrock Capital purchased them for $300 million. Reports are that she bought them for $360.
Okay, so she got a good deal.
Yeah,
she got a pretty good deal. Okay.
Yeah,
I was over on the actual sale price, but still, like, shot in the dark. What is Taylor Swift's music catalog worth? $500 million. Not a bad guess.
Well,
not a bad guess at all.
As the internet has been pointing out today, she devalued them by re-recording 4 of the 6 albums.
Right.
Because all of her fans in shows of solidarity would only stream Taylor's version. Right. Of things, because she would get the money from those. And so this is being referred to as Tapendence Day or Taylor Independence Day.
Wow,
I saw a great clip where somebody had put these photos with Bill Pullman's speech from Independence Day. In part, the reason people are celebrating is that if you were only streaming Taylor's versions of the albums, you could not stream Reputation or her debut album without feeling a little bit guilty. Now, I don't stream, so I've been listening to these the whole time because I just bought them the first time because I'm old and I buy music instead of having a Spotify account.
Okay.
So my students tell me that makes me old.
It does, but that's okay. We're all in the same boat with you, but it's fine. I mean, I use Spotify, but we all have our things.
It's 100% a cult, Jared, but it's a cult where I don't have to do drugs or kill anybody, so it's fine.
I'm plenty of people at the Eras Tour are doing drugs, Addie. Let's not get past ourselves.
If that drug is glitter, fine.
If it's glitter and if the glitter is white and powdery and only goes up your nose, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I imagine there's also there was a lot of like kids and stuff at Swift concerts too. But you see all of like the VIP parties and all the celebrities and stuff there. Those Era Tour parties, the Era Tour concerts were like a place to be, and there was some funny stuff going on for sure. I imagine those were some great parties.
Same can be said about football games.
Oh, for sure, for everything. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
So
we're at football stadiums overall.
I think the greatest irony in all of this is that in the very long letter that she posted on her website, so she posted these photos and said, letter on my website. There is a very long, tiny print letter on her website that 3 people texted me about while I was driving yesterday, and I had to pull off the road to be able to read. And she admits... So people have been clowning for this album to be re-released for years, like since she started this project. She admitted that she hasn't even finished it. Like she was like, everybody was like, she's gonna announce it last Monday, and it's like I never even I got a quarter of the way through it and just couldn't do it. Like, so everybody thought this thing was coming, and she never even finished it.
Is this the letter that we're talking about? Letter from Taylor Swift, dear. Oh, no, this is. Oh, no. That's 2020. No. That's not it. Okay.
Yeah.
False fake news. Sorry, producer Steve.
That also appears to be the letter from the first time. If you just go to like TaylorSwift.com.
Okay.
Which the clowning has already begun around this letter as well.
Okay. Wow. Yes. I can't read this shit.
Yeah, very tiny print. Very tiny.
What are we doing, Taylor? All right, here we go.
Interestingly, she not only owns now all of her music, she owns all of the concert films, all of the album art, the photographs, the music videos, etc. So there are a number of concert films that, so the Eras Tour most famously is on Disney+, but a number of her other tours have been professionally shot and live in various places. One of them was removed from Netflix last year. And so there is speculation that she might be cutting new deals with Disney Plus for some of those to get them all streaming on Disney Plus, since that seems to be her streaming home now. One of my friends thinks she should start her own streaming service. I'm not on board with that. I have too many streaming services already.
Don't put that idea out into the world. We don't need streaming services to be that fractured. Dear God.
No, we don't. Just I already pay for Disney Plus. Just put it on Disney Plus with the Eras Tour. So she owns everything now. But anyway, interestingly, the clowning has already begun. If you notice in the middle of the screen, move your cursor up to the this with many eyes.
Yeah. So I was this close.
Yeah, there are 12 eyes
Jesus
in that
Christ.
word.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it. My eyes aren't good enough to count that, but okay. Yeah.
Her next studio album will be her 12th.
Okay.
The clowning has already begun.
I have a few thoughts. She has letterhead, like she is either a hotel or a like Game of Thrones like house, like owner. You know what I mean? Like I imagine this is like what Tywin Lannister's like. Just replace the S with an L, and that's what Tywin's like letterhead looks like.
That logo is new.
That's kind of makes it worse. The other thing I wanted to say is impeccable handwriting. For as small as it is, I know it's hard to see on screen, but when you can actually see this, like, look at how consistent these thes are. This almost looks like auto pen. It's so consistent.
No, there is speculation that she's had her handwriting turned into a font.
Honest to God, I mean, look at this. Like, look at the thes. Look at some of these Ys. Like,
yeah. I don't think it's.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, well, my's. I don't know. No, you're right. I mean, she does the Y on her my differently from the Y on her Y. That I promise that makes sense. Yeah, the house seal says Sean the Kid.
I understand.
But yeah, it almost Was it with a wax? Was it sent with a wax? It was sent with a wax seal and delivered by Owl, specifically. And there was like a little fox or something that was like escorting it with it underneath. Okay, Brady, add that to the list of things that you're gonna have to explain at some point. But yeah, handwriting turned into a font is like that's billionaire stuff. Like you don't. That's not right. Like. Taylor Nation LLC.
That's who like run. That's her
company.
Like, fan.
Yeah.
That's the cult.
That's the cult. That's the cult's. Yeah. Elated. Oh my god. Who the fuck signs a letter? Elated and amazed. I love this woman. It's great. She's at least she's self-aware.
That is also a direct callback to when she first announced that her masters had been sold to Scooter Braun and she wasn't allowed to buy them. She signed it something and something. Like it's a direct callback to that letter. No, to that letter specifically.
Okay.
I think it's that letter you had pulled up on before. The black.
Okay. Right. The one from 2020. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
I thought. Okay, this is interesting too. Notice her capitalization is strange, right? The best things that have ever been mine finally actually she does I think your cult should look into some of that stuff too. Like there's some interesting capitalization here.
That's a thing. That's
okay.
I talked about this a little bit last week. So
look at me. I know all about it.
Pull me back up.
Okay. Okay. Yep. That's going away. Boom.
Okay. So I don't know if you're going to be able to make this out on my camera, but you might be able to tell that some of these it's my shitty webcam. It's fine.
But yeah, there's weird capitalization.
So all of the lyrics in this booklet are in lowercase except for specific letters, and it spells out a secret message. And in the same thing on her next album, she did the same thing, except everything was in capital letters and occasionally lowercase. She's been doing this for years.
Okay.
The random
she's not bored.
Is not random.
That's for okay. It's not random. Okay, good to know.
She has an entire song on Midnights called Mastermind, and it's about how she likes to play games and is a mastermind. So
right.
She owns it. She owns it.
Absolutely. She absolutely does. Okay.
I've said it before. We're lucky that Mother appears to be a good person because I really think she could be a serial killer.
Oh, I still think we need to check all these properties for bodies. I mean, I think if anyone, she has the amount of money and power and influence that if she wanted to get rid of someone, she could do it. I'm just saying. Like she could probably get away with it. She's a billionaire. There's rules that she does that we don't play by.
She might not be a billionaire anymore.
That's fair. She did for now. I imagine that's an investment sort of thing too. You know what I mean? Like that'll probably pay off in the long run from it.
Oh, there's already speculation that we are soon going to be able to buy the originals on vinyl on her website.
There you go. I'm sure she's gonna love that. Well.
So.
Okay, so I had one more thing that I saw about this that I wanted to ask you about that wasn't included in your manifesto, and if it was, and I missed it, and I apologize. I saw a post. If this is fake news, then I'm even more sorry. I saw a post from some Swifties online. I think it was on Blue Sky that said their bracelets that they had from the Era store, like their little light up bracelets.
Oh,
no, they're light up bracelets. They started like lighting up like freaking like beacons, like what do you call it? Like like they're aliens being called home. Like they said randomly yesterday, they even showed it on the video. Like they're like all their bracelets just started lighting up yesterday at random, and they didn't know why. Have you heard anything about this?
I have not heard anything about this, and mine's in a box, and I was in my car when this broke, so I wouldn't have noticed. Okay, well, I'm gonna need a report on that. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna need you to look into that for us, Addie, and see if you can find if that story is true or if I was had by the internet. I would think so to the algorithm story you were telling earlier. when I learned that my algorithm is different from everyone else's algorithm, was the release of the Tortured Poets Department, otherwise known as TS11, because the Tortured Poets Department is actually a double album.
Okay, right.
It's like 30 some odd songs long.
It's a lot of songs, right. Yeah. I know. It lasted me for a significant amount of a road trip.
And my brother texted me like 2 days after it came out, and he was like, did you know Taylor Swift's new album is a double album? And I'm like, that's all my Instagram has been for the last 48 hours. Like, what?
Right.
Like, and that was when I realized that, like, my Instagram feed is very, very different from whatever my brother is getting from the algorithm, because that was what I woke up to that morning. So I haven't seen, and so I bring that up because I have seen a lot of things on all of my feeds today because I have trained the algorithm very well. And I have seen nothing about this. So it is worth investigating.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I will. I'll do a little looking. I hope you will do a little looking in checking your Swift sources. I know you definitely have plugged into different Taylor Swift sources than the rest of us. So I just do some reporting for us, Addie. We would appreciate it here on the program. And
we'll do.
Let me know you can find out.
We put a pin in something that I was going to come back to.
We put a pin in the some award thing or show it was a show.
The AMA is being the most terrible award show ever.
Yes, please go ahead. I'm gonna kill our Swift music here, but go ahead. Why was it the worst ever?
So admittedly, I was only half watching it because I was also watching baseball and I was also watching the Blathering. As far as I can tell, only about 6 awards were given away. Okay, I'll talk to the dog. As far as I can tell, only about 6 awards were given away. The rest of it was all performances, some of which, according to the internet, were not actually live.
You say 6 awards?
There were like 6 awards given away. There were like 20 categories. You had to go online and look later to see who had actually won the rest of them. A friend of mine said it was the iHeart Music Awards. But there were videos online from people who were actually there that, like, Gwen Stefani's performance, she was supposedly performing live. There was no one on stage during the time that it was aired. So it was pre-recorded. And then there was also, very suspiciously, the applause was cut. So the one award that they showed that Taylor was nominated for, the applause was muted from the theater when her name was announced, so you could not hear everyone cheering for her as loudly as they were cheering for everyone else, even louder. And I think that the American Music Awards are owned by somebody who's a Red Hatter, if I'm remembering the reporting that came out earlier this week, and he hates Taylor Swift now.
Okay.
So there's also a little bit of conspiracy.
Got it.
There's a little bit of conspiracy going on because this is it's a fan voted award show. She's nominated for like 8 AMAs, and you mean to tell me her fans didn't manage to get her a single one on a fan voted award show?
I mean, yeah, that does sound surprising. Yeah, that's fair. That is interesting. I wonder. And so, did she? One of the things I heard about the AMAs this year is that there was not a lot of people there. Did she attend? Was there any? Well, who you said there was a lot of performances. Like, what was the biggest? Was any of them good? Like, why was this performance so bad?
So, I mean, I did not actually watch it with the sound on at any point.
Nice.
At some point, I think it was Blake Shelton. At some J-Lo did like 20 minutes of dancing and like a montage of songs that I don't even think were hers to open the show. The word sex was on the screen a lot at one point. I don't know what was going on.
They say it sells, so.
Like I said, Gwen Stefani supposedly performed. And then the problem is that, like, I'm not up enough on current music to even recognize who some of these other people were.
Right. I'm with you on that. So it was a dud. I mean, the whole internet was saying the same thing. So you're not alone on this. I heard a lot of criticism for this show. So that's not a surprise.
It was also interesting. Like if you're only gonna air like 6 awards, it was probably more than 6, but it felt like 6. If you're gonna only air 6 awards, wouldn't you pick, like, if the Oscars were only going to air 6 awards, it would be Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting, Best Director, and Best Picture, right? Like those would be the 6.
Yeah. So what were the 6 that you saw?
Care about? Yeah. Best Male R&B Artist, Best Latino Female Artist, Best R&B Female, like, and then Artist of the Year went to Billie Eilish.
Okay.
There might have been a country award and a Best New Artist award.
Right.
But like there wasn't like there was Best Tour, there was Best Pop Album, there was Best, like, all of these other
Album
like
of the Year, nothing like that.
Yeah, no.
Wow, that's surprising.
So I'm just like you air 6 awards and you decide to give away editing and cinematography on air, and I got to go look up who won Best Picture.
Yeah, that's a good point. What are you gonna do? So yeah, the award shows suck now. Go figure.
Like I said, this wasn't really a real award show. It was fan voted. You know, it's like watching the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah, they are about like all the different who's there, and then all the different performances and stuff. So
the thing I learned quickly about like the Kid and the Teen Choice Awards is you usually can tell who won by who shows up, because they all know ahead of time.
Right. And that's if they show up. But yeah. That's a good point.
So anyway,
well,
can I tell you about my favorite video game?
Yes, I would love to hear about your favorite video game. Yep, exactly. That's perfect.
I am terrible at video games.
Okay, good start.
So I don't play a lot of them. I believe it is because I don't have very good depth perception. Okay. And so the hand-eye coordination to play a lot of these video games is not there. Like, I can remember getting my Switch when it first came out and trying to play Super Mario Odyssey and getting stuck on some level where I had to, like, jump on a fork that was, like, springy from, like, one to another. And I had to quit because I couldn't get the angle right.
You gave up that easily?
When I get frustrated, I just give up.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Okay. So I'm an Animal Crossing girly. That's my jam.
Okay. Yep. That's not surprising. I don't want to stereotype, but that's not surprising.
I love me some Mario Kart.
Okay.
I got into Mario Party recently. I'd never played it before. Part of the problem is that I did not. My brother had all the video game systems growing up, and I was like not allowed to play them.
Oh, that kind of thing.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So like, until I graduated from grad school, I still owned our Super NES.
It's a good one.
I would play that.
There you go. Some good ones on that.
We had F-Zero and a Mario, and we had Super the Empire Strikes Back, which was like the gem of my collection. Yes. And we had the Nintendo Power magazine with all of the cheat codes for the levels in Super the Empire Strikes Back. I literally had that magazine until I sold my NES in like 2015. Because the only level that I would play in that game was the asteroid field level.
You know, by like 20...
I really liked playing the asteroid field level.
By like 2002 or 2003, that was, you know, you could have gone on IGN or whatever, any website, and those cheat codes were all there at it. You didn't need the magazine anymore, but yeah.
But I had the magazine.
That's fair. I held on to my Zelda Ocarina of Time Prima guidebook for a really, really, really long time, and again, same deal. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah, when I play video games, I need help like that though. Like I played what was it, like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee?
Yes,
I had to buy.
I loved that.
I loved that, but I had to buy the guidebook for it so that I knew where everything was.
Oh, so did you not play Red or Blue as a kid?
Um, I vaguely remember playing Red or Blue as a kid. I had a Game
Okay.
Boy. I was allowed.
Yeah.
I was allowed my own Game Boy.
Yeah.
And I played. But I played like Mario or Tetris or the
Yeah.
Kirby games. I used to love the Kirby games. Just sucking all this stuff up and then blowing it on people. And then
She's talking about Kirby, folks.
Kirby.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I never was a big gamer. Like I said, Animal Crossing was my jam, but I think it also hit at the perfect time when I didn't have a lot else to do. Like I went to the store and bought Animal Crossing and lockdown started. So
right.
what was I gonna? It was a way to socialize in 2020. Was to go visit other people's islands. They will get me to buy a new Switch though if they bring out a new Animal Crossing game.
Okay, I was gonna say okay, good call. Yeah, it probably not too soon, but I imagine I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have one coming out. Not too far away for the
It
new
was
Switch.
such a hit. And
right.
I know that again, it was partially the time we were in. But
it was the perfect COVID game.
It was the perfect COVID game. I've tried to get back into it since then because I sort of like when I had to go back to real life, I kind of stopped playing, and I just like I can't get back into it because I think it was of its time. But like I also like finished a lot of parts of it, so there's not like my museum was done. Right. And I had all my fruit. And I think when they stopped providing updates for the game, I lost interest. Like nothing new was coming, so I was like, why do I need to keep playing?
Right.
My entire island was Walt Disney World, to no one's surprise at any point.
That's not at all a surprise.
But yeah, so maybe I'll build a Taylor Swift island.
There you go. That gives you a whole new. You can do different eras for different sections of the island. So you can do think of it like how Epcot goes around the world. You can do Taylor Swift goes around the eras, and that's your Epcot is your Taylor Swift cot. Boom! I just gave you the whole idea. Pay me later.
Oh, producer Steve.
That's what I do.
I don't need that right now.
That's
although
you're welcome.
For the people who are in the Discord, I do need a distraction right now. So that
there you go. That could be it for you. You're welcome. No, those are great. Those are the great kind of games that kind of give you just a chill, like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. I love those kind of games where you just
couldn't get into Stardew Valley.
Really, you didn't like the farming? I love farming. It was great.
I didn't like the part where I was supposed to fall in love and marry someone.
Well, you don't have to do that part. That's kind of what's good about the game. Like you can be a huge whore in that game if you want to, Addie. It's great.
Yeah, I don't want to be that either, though, Steve.
Well, okay, well then, I don't know okay, well, if you don't want to go one way or the other, you can do nothing. That's also an option. You can just go into caves and farm stuff.
I don't, yeah, I just, that's what, Animal Crossing is just so wholesome.
It is very wholesome. It is very wholesome. And it slyly teaches you about
my little animal friends.
Lives.
Yeah, capitalism. The raccoon's a mobster, like it's great.
He is. He's a mobster. But I'm glad.
Stock market, like just learn about all the things.
Oh man, see, it's Haley's a tough one to court. Some of those folks in Stardew Valley, they can be packed. Laserbolt says, I just got back into Minecraft and it ruined my sleep schedule. I hear that. I hear that for sure.
Brady, that was part of my problem with it. Like, I have no game in real life. I don't need video game characters to turn me down also. Like, I don't need to be rejected by non-playable characters. I get that enough in real life.
That's I'm sorry. Well, that's, to be fair, in Stardew especially, they're tough cookies to crack. Like, they've got high standards, they're you can whore yourself out, don't get me wrong, but you got to put in the work first. So you got to put in the work first, but well, okay. Well, thank you for sharing not only your favorite game, but your thoughts on the AMAs and, of course, the Taylor Swift report, which I enjoyed. I think we got to the bottom of some stuff. I hope you can get some solid reporting for us on Bracelet Gate, on if that was a real thing. That would be some real mob boss stuff though. Like someone mentioned, like she's a real, if she can just make make your bracelets light up remotely all over the world, like some kind of beacon, that would be next level shit.
Like that's Voldemort. That's Voldemort Darkmark shit. Like,
Yeah, it's great though. I love it. I love it. It's so Taylor Swift too. If it works, like if that's actually real. But
I
think
also
I got had by
question
the internet.
though.
We'll see.
I question like I don't know that mine would have lit up because mine is 2 years old at this point. Like
Right,
that
okay.
battery is long.
If that
dead.
battery is dead,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
that's fair.
sure. I'm pretty sure that battery died within a week of going to the concert because it was still lit up, like when I got home,
Yeah.
and then like a week later it was dead
Yeah. Okay.
because there
Okay.
was no way to turn it off.
Right. Oh, okay.
So like
Okay.
maybe somebody who was at like her Indianapolis or her New Orleans or like the last shows because that
Right.
tour only ended like 6 months ago, but I still think they'd be dead by now.
I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I thought it was an interesting
I'm calling
story.
fake news. I think TikTok played you.
I'm gonna lean. Hey, like I said, I let TikTok tell me whatever it wanted to, so I wasn't going to. I wasn't gonna like let it bias. Good night, detective. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us earlier. But hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, Addie, thank you for sharing all of the great stuff. That was that was so much fun. I hope that was a good little reprieve for you as well. And if you want to hang out, feel free to chill in the green room, grab a snack, and we'll spin the wheel later. Does that sound good?
I had a nap before the show started.
You're ready to go.
I am ready. I'm also not. I'm not ready to go to sleep yet because last night was terrible. So.
well. Luckily, it's we're only an hour in. We've got a little ways to go here. We got a few more calls that have come in. I am going to get to Jared and Adam Knight and Brady here soon. I'm excited to hear about all their favorite games, and also Brady's going to give us a live report from Ken's show last night. So. Feel free to stick around, and if you have anything you want to pipe in on, just let me know, and we'll bring you back in. Okay.
Sounds good,
all
Steve.
Right.
I'm gonna Google
Addie.
while I'm in the green room though.
You're a great reporter. Thank you so much. Remember to check your sources.
Welcome.
All right.
Always.
We'll see you soon. All right. Thank you again to Addie. Thank you everyone who is hanging out here on the backstage on a Saturday evening. We are just chilling. No Blathering live tonight from Ken, so you've got I'm not Step Ken, I'm just the Ken that stepped up, but I'm producer Steve, and we are talking Taylor Swift, we're talking video games, we're just chilling this evening. That's what we do here on Backstage. This is the community picnic table. This is where we just hang out, have a good time, take your calls, you tell me what's on your mind, tell me about your favorite video game, and we'll continue to yap. But with that being said, we've had a couple of people give us their favorite games. McCarslow talked about Jak and Daxter, which was a great poll. I haven't thought about that game in years. Some great PlayStation platformers. And then Addie chimed in with really her lack of gaming aptitude, but she loves Animal Crossing, and Mario Kart. So very good picks there as well. I'm interested to see what Jared, Adam, and Brady also have. But I'm going to give you a top 5 of mine. As we go down here, so since we've already had 2 people, I'll give you 2 my 5 and my 4. So number 5 for me is going to be number 5 is Total War. Medieval 2 Total War is probably the best of my favorite of all the Total Wars, but really the Total War series. Especially if you're ever a kid, if you're like Lord of the Rings fan and stuff like that, that was like the closest thing you could get to reenacting all those battles. Battle for Middle Earth was good too, but love the Total War series as a kid growing up. It was kind of the next iteration of Age of Empires after, that type of RTS game fell out of style. I loved Age of Empires and StarCraft and all that kind of stuff, but I never got into like the competitive scene on them as much. Total War was not so much like a competitive game; it was more about the single player. So I loved having those. So that was number 5. That's number 5 for me. Jambi, Mass Effect top 3 or 5. I'm right there with you. Mass Effect is an OLI for me. Right outside, like right on the outside looking in. And that is because I only played the first one and like half the second one. And I came into Mass Effect late. I played the Legendary Editions. I never played like them when they came out. So it's on me that I haven't finished them. I haven't played all of them. I heard 3 is like the worst of all of them. And 2 is like a masterpiece, and I do like 2 so far from what I've played, but it's one of those games that I just haven't haven't finished through, but I've heard incredible things. But yeah, so number 5 is definitely the Total War series. Number 4 is Star Wars Empire at War. And this is along a similar genre as the RTSs, but it's kind of like a little bit of a mixed bag. Empire at War, if you haven't heard of it, give it a Google. It's probably really cheap on Steam. If you're into the RTS kind of genre for games, it's one of my favorite Star Wars games. It's my second favorite Star Wars game because I have another Star Wars game that's higher up on this list. But there's some amazing mods for Star Wars Empire at War. That's one of those games that like tweaking mods for that game is one of the things that kind of like got me into doing stuff with computers and everything. And they have a really, really strong community with that game still. If that game came out in I think 2005 originally on PC, and there are still people to this day making mods and updating them. It's set during the Galactic Civil War, but there are mods that do the Clone Wars that are amazing. They have all the characters and all this different stuff, but it's both a mixture of like naval battles, like all your ships and shit like that in space, and also like ground stuff. So if the Clone Wars mod is amazing because you're doing a strategy game in the Clone Wars, and a lot of them have really updated graphics for what the engine can handle. It's not the craziest shit in the world, but it's really, really fun. So that might be one of those things I play like on stream just to show people, and give that a shout. The Star Wars logo game someone mentioned is a really good one. The Star Wars logo games are really good. I loved the new one, the Skywalker Saga one. We getting able to play through everything. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, the Lego games are very, very good. Star Wars Commander Offensive. Yeah, Empire at War is really good. I'm telling you, if you like RTSs or that genre, give Empire War a shot. Even to this day, just download one of the mods that like kind of modernize it a little bit. It's really good. It's better than there was another one that was like Galactic. Well, I don't. It's similar to I think Star Wars Commander, but it was basically Age of Empires with a total Star Wars skin on it. I forgot what the name of it is. Maybe I'll Google it here in a second. But I always liked Empire War better because I love the space. Being able to do shit with the naval battles and stuff is so cool. So yeah, those are number 5 and number 4. Number 5 and number 4 for me. So before we continue, we've got Jared the Tide Pod, we've got Adam Knight, we've got Brady here. So I'm going to bring one of these fellas on here to talk. See how their day is going, see what they want to talk about, see what topic they've got on hand, if they've got something else other than their favorite video game. But then I'll ask them about their favorite video game. And also, if you want to be on camera, just give me a thumbs up. I think we're gonna start here, Jared. You're gonna be our cleanup hitter in a bit here with Brady. So I'm gonna bring on Adam Knight next. Adam, give me a thumbs up if you want to be on camera, or a thumbs down if you want to. Okay, you're good with camera. All right, we're gonna bring you on, and you're gonna tell us what's going on and tell us all about your favorite video game. So welcome to the show, Mr. Adam Knight. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for hanging out. What's going on?
You've got me on our first one. Can you hear me okay? I'm sort of going off my cell phone right now. I'm in between homes at the moment. It's all right.
You sound fantastic.
And that's because I've got excellent projection and diction, which is, not something you expect from a guy my age. It's all good. I'm good tonight. This is a rare evening I've got where I'm not running around with my daughter and having to haul ass out the door right away, so that's nice. I do have to work my overnight shift tonight, so salute and salutations. It's 9 p.m. and double coffee time, so here's where we are.
Okay, all right. Well, good prep. I'm glad that you're spending your time with us to get ready for things. So that's excellent. So tell me about your favorite video game. Tell me the story behind it, why it's your favorite, and why you're so passionate about it.
It is funny because as a man of a certain vintage, of which our progenitor, Mr. Kennapzok, will relate to, being around back in the dawning days of the Pong and all of those of that nature, I have played every version of every platform game that's come out since the early to mid 80s, I guess. I don't even know when the first ones came out at this point. I have fond memories of playing the original Star Wars arcade game at the airport while waiting for my aunt to arrive, where I'd beg my dad for quarters and continually flew Sidewinder-wise into those terrible sideways 1D graphics streams, but I didn't care because I could hear the Star Wars theme, and it was just like, I'm Luke Skywalker, and that was pretty great for a 7 or 8 year old. But probably all time, like I'm the type of guy who goes crazy for a good RPG. I got really into the Final Fantasy games back on the Nintendo system.
Okay.
I played Final Fantasy IV, the North American version, constantly for ages and ages and ages. I love a good action game. I'm so all over the place. I know. If you ask me,
No,
my
no, I
favorite,
love this. I love this. Hold on. So favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy IV?
probably yeah.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII got a little too graphic heavy for me, and that's fine, right? That said, I really got into 10. I really got into 12, and I've dropped off since then. So that's all
Okay.
right.
Okay. Gotcha. Did you ever play the MMO at all?
I tried. I
Okay.
tried a little bit. And here's where you lose me in video games today. I've got a Fortnite downloaded on my PS4 right now, only because it's free. Do I think I'll ever spend a dime on it? Probably not. I like the Battle Royale free option, but I'm never going to get good at it because I can't seem to justify any of the rest. But that's
Right.
because I'm a cheesy old man who thinks micro purchasing can anyway.
You know what, dude? I'm totally with you. I have a thing, and I've talked to Ken about this too. Playing Fortnite with him, I was talking to Lauren Romo about this earlier today. I played a Fortnite game with her and Plume, and we were talking about like all the skins and everything because they have every Star Wars skin under the fucking sun. Playing with all them, it's insane. I have two skins. I paid $10 one time or $15 one time to get a number of V-Bucks when they were like on sale when I first got it. Never anything else again because it's like the game is free. You're not going to sucker me in. Like this is all. Yeah. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? I do the same thing with like Rocket League because I got Rocket League back before you had to pay for that. I never spent a dime on skins or anything like that in that game. League of Legends, same stuff.
I even love how the model for video games has changed so drastically, right? Because I'm still the guy where even though I can just pay to download the games, right? There I am looking for no, I got to get a copy of Fallen Order and I've got to have it on disc so I can put it right into my PlayStation. So I can,
and they can't take it away from you.
They can't take it away from me. I'll do the upgrades, for sure. Right. If there's any DLC in my Spider-Man games, I'll get those there, and come on. But I have to have the base mod. You can't take that disc from me.
Right.
You can't take the Sky from me. Anyways, so all-time favorite game. Again, as a man of my vintage, the temptation to say something like GoldenEye is huge.
Oh, that's such a good one.
You have no idea how many hours and hours and hours me and the boys spent playing frickin' GoldenEye just because it was 4-on-4, my buddy Kevin's basement, just cussing each other out over a bowl of Cheetos and Slurpees, and just no odd jobs, no slappers only, and for the love of God, wear the proximity mines.
Big head mode, baby. Big head mode. I love GoldenEye.
Oh, it's a great game. It's a great game. Great. I hated that they tried to update it, and I understand why. Right?
Yeah.
I love GoldenEye so much that I bought Perfect Dark, which I'll tell you, not as good.
I remember Perfect Dark was the game I always saw that whenever I was renting a game at Blockbuster, there was 12 copies of Perfect Dark. I mean, there were never Banjo-Kazooie or anything else that I wanted to rent, but I still never got. I was even though it was always there, I never rented it. It was even to give it a try. I was like, fuck it, I'll come back for Banjo-Kazooie tomorrow.
When I became a man of my own means, I bought it for $20 when I still had an N64, and I was like, it's fine. It doesn't have but the things I like best were the battle modes where it actually had, I swear to God, the old fucking GoldenEye levels in there where I could just run around and go, I know where these things are. You're not going to fool me. I have done this 8,000 times. All right, so I lost my glasses. Jesus. That's right. I'm an old man, everybody. I need my glasses.
they're not on the wires or anything. It's okay. So
like my mittens.
So GoldenEye is the pick. Is that what you think is the number one?
Here's the funny thing. Probably GoldenEye is up there.
Okay.
And for all the reasons I mentioned. But I realize I play most of my video games now solo, much like my personal life. But my video games, the best part about video games for me was always playing them in groups, which is why I understand why things like Call of Duty and Halo and Fortnite are such big deals now, because you can have big group settings all the time. I'm from the days back when we could get everybody together, plug in our little controllers, and then we could get it done that way. I remember playing 4-player Gauntlet on the Super Nintendo.
Gauntlet Legends? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
But Green Warrior's about to die. Motherfucker, I know Green Warrior's about to die. I'm the Green Warrior. I'm dying here.
Yes.
But somebody throw me a healing potion. No, nobody. I'm just going to Leroy Jenkins my way in here. And that's what it was before I knew what Leroy Jenkins was. But that's all right. Good time. But
Oh,
it
that's a great game.
was
Yeah.
always party games. Like even, but I will say, and I put it in the chat earlier, and it probably went by. But honestly, as silly as it is, probably for the Sega Genesis NHL '94.
Oh, that's the best NHL game. NHL 94 is the best NHL game. Period.
I've played many of the versions since. I like the upgrades. I like the extra
Yep.
features. I like the create your own team mode. I like your general manager mode. But for pure playability, NHL '94.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun. That we played that game for 10 years just because that was the only thing I played on my Genesis for years and years after I had other systems, just because I remember I wasn't even like a huge hockey fan, but it was just so much fun. That was a great, like, you and your friend are just gonna be like, all right, no, we're gonna play NHL. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that.
It's to the point now, like if I punched it in right now, if I had it, and I do not, but if I had it right now, I guarantee it would take me 2 seconds to get back into the rhythm.
Yeah, the muscle memory. Oh yeah. Yep.
It's all there.
It's all there.
It's probably NHL '94, and I've played hundreds of games since then. Right, like right now, I'm going deep with my daughter on that sounds terrible, but like on Sackboy, the Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Super great. Like she's into video games and loves stuff like that, which is fantastic, right? And I love that they now have different levels of video games that are all awesome. But man, that NHL '94 was something else, and it was specifically the Sega Genesis version. The version on Nintendo, not as good. Had to be the Genesis version.
Yes. Yeah. No. I remember. Yeah. No. We had the Genesis one. I remember because that was that and Earthworm Jim. Those are the things that got the most play on my Sega Genesis. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Earthworm Jim. Something else. So that was I just remember the cartoon based on that with this ridiculous theme song because of course it was all about the theme songs.
Right.
Which I'm not going to regale anybody with right now. That's probably one.
Oh man, good stuff. Those are some trip down memory. Those are some good picks, very good picks. But I'm like you, I like I loved a lot of single player games growing up, but the things that have the staying power for me were the multiplayer games, and that's why my number 3 game of all time is Halo 2.
Great game.
That's the game that, as far as like, that was the transition from, not only did I love the single player version and the couch co-op is amazing, it has that like community environment of all the boys can hang out and we can all drink a bunch of Mountain Dew and play games. But also this introduced me to Xbox Live. And this is where you play all the different custom games, and this is where you learn, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And that's then what took me into the jump to PC gaming and playing OG Halo and all the mods and all that crazy shit, right? So Halo 2 to me holds a special place in my heart. That guitar riff always hits. Just the single player campaign is so good, and the multiplayer was just the best on Xbox Live. That was just a different time. I loved Halo 2.
The only times I played Halo were back when my brother was laid up, so I would go and hang out with him a couple times a week, and he had a big projection screen. Dear God. I'm like, okay, I get it. I suck, but I get it, right?
Oh, that's a good one. All good. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much for hanging out, giving us the story on your favorite games. That was awesome. That was a great call. If you want to hang out, you're welcome to chill, and we'll spin the wheel later.
I spin the wheel if you can. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, but like I said, I do have real life responsibilities in a bit. But I want to take a few minutes here.
We all do. Yeah, please.
Before you let me go, I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate the stuff you guys do to help this community out, to help keep our boy Ken up and moving. It's a big deal for all of us, right? So I appreciate all that stuff. And maybe I got some ideas for other stuff we can talk about down the line, So shoot me a DM sometime. We can figure that out.
Very cool. No, I appreciate that. No, and yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. We're here because Ken has created an awesome community, and we want to support him. So, I mean, everyone who's here, I'm sure, is already doing so, or sponsor, or subscribed, or liking something. But if you haven't, like and subscribe to all the places, all the things, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. You have a good night. Everyone else have a good night. I'll hang out for a little bit. Take care, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care. All right, so we are keeping on here on the Backstage on a Saturday evening. We're getting into about an hour and a half here. We'll probably go man, as soon as I put the glasses on, they fogged up. We'll probably go close to 2 hours this evening. We've got a few more callers here, so thank you everyone who is hanging out. We're going to spin the wheel after everyone's had their own little chance to shine on the stage. But if you are still here, we've got the call link in the chat, so feel free free to come on in. There's plenty of time to get to yours. But so we had some great video game chat there with Adam Knight. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to bring on Brady to talk about not only his favorite video game, but first we're going to get a kennapzok report. I was trying to think of another N word there. Kennapzok, like networking, kennapzok. I don't know, something. I'm all about alliteration. So, and then I realized N-word was not the best way to phrase that. So we're it's a mess. Anyway, Brady, I need you to save us. Brady, if you're out there, I see your mic muted, so I'm going to bring you on here and hope to God that you're here. But Brady, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us all about the experience with Ken last. Well, first tell me how you're doing, and then we'll grill you about your Friday night.
Hello, is my mic working?
You sound silky smooth.
Ah, great. So, just hang with me. I'm recently caffeinated.
Okay.
And it's been a hot day in Los Angeles. So.
Okay. I'm with you. This is the backstage, Brady. There's no pressure. You're all good, man.
But yeah, knapsack. What are we calling it? A knapsack report, I guess.
The knapsack report. Hold on. Let me get the news. Let me get the news sound. Hold on, Brady. We're gonna do this right. I don't have my glasses on, so you guys are gonna see me furrow my brow very, very heavily. I am furrowing so hard here. Here we go. We're playing the music now. Here we go. It's right. It's right there. Knapsack news. Oh my gosh, who said that? Addie's right. Addie said it in the green room chat. Knapsack news. She's absolutely right. So Addie gets the credit for that. Addie, if this video goes viral, if I ever make money on YouTube, Addie, I promise I'll give you some kind of a cut. But we are going to go to our news here, and there we go. Boom. Brady, tell me all about your Friday night.
Man, it was great. It was great. It wasn't a sold out crowd, but we were a good crowd. We made sure to show up, cheer. We had a lot of Blathering and Force Center fans here.
I was gonna say, who else was there? Spill the tea. Who else showed up?
I gotta
dox everybody.
I had to thank Cinder for giving me a ticket. He had a free ticket. So I got to meet Cinder, Johnny Starlight from the Force Center, and Brian Tiller. I don't know if Tiller is listening, maybe lurking. He sometimes is in the chat. But yeah, it was great. I gotta say, Ken and Mark Ellis, they're a dynamic duo. They're like, who are some dynamic duos? They're like the Bash Brothers or the Bash.
They're the Bash Brothers. They're Bonnie and Clyde. They're Starsky and Hutch. They're Jim Belushi and Jerry Lee. We got it. Shaq and Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah, they got nowadays.
Well, okay. In that scenario, who's Shaq and who's Kobe?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's taller? Because Mark Ellis is not very tall. I have a picture with Mark Ellis. He's not very tall. Knapsack's taller, right?
I feel like they're the same height. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna go. Ken's gonna be. I'm gonna call. I'm making the decision here. Ken is Shaq, and Ellis is Kobe. That's what we're doing. That's just what we're doing. All right, moving on. I didn't mean to derail you. Please continue.
But yeah, because it was like we were a friendly crowd. We got to see some new material. I will not spoil anything. If anyone wants to see Ken perform, fly into Los Angeles, go to Flappers, and yes, you'll see some you'll see some new material. Yeah. It was as someone who's watched a couple specials. It was I loved seeing something new and different, right? Besides your typical stand-up standards.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So okay, continue, please. I want to hear all about this. Like, spare me no details. Say whatever you want.
It was without getting too spoilery.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. And I'm not gonna tell all the material. But the comedy press conference, I think that was advertised. Great idea.
Yes. How did that go? What was the structure? Like you don't have to tell us the content, but what did they do? Like, what was the thing?
Oh, we were just It was just like sports, but we're reporters and we got some responses and
So you guys just shouted questions at him,
Yeah.
Okay, so what were some funny questions?
It was just like comedy related questions, and they just took it in a completely different direction, wherever just was right. I asked about like my own question. I asked about like what happens if you forget your line, and they just use it as an excuse to like repeat all the jokes that they just forgot. And that was great.
That's awesome. So you said there was some good blathering representation. How many of the blathering flock do you think were there? What kind of numbers are we looking at?
I'd say
a handful at least.
A handful. We all sat together. We all
that's
out
awesome.
Afterward too. It was great. Yeah,
that's so awesome.
And hanging out afterward, I got to experience like Mark Ellis's Irish goodbye.
Oh yeah, he just dipped out. You just turned a corner and he was gone.
We were just talking and like, oh wait, where'd Mark Ellis go? And Ken was just like, yeah, you just experienced it. Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that is a great report, Brady. Was there anything else from the show that you wanted to share that you didn't get to or anything? Any other highlights or anything like that? Okay.
I would say it was a very hot night. Man. Just one.
Okay. Any after show or after party after the show things to highlight? Anything get rowdy like?
I think it was the same time as like a Dodgers Yankees game, so we were hanging out at a bar.
Cool.
Yeah, it was funny because like a lot of Dodgers fans were there, who were cheering, but Ken's a Yankee fan, so. I didn't want to get too, happy because, Ken was like, yeah.
So Cinder says Ken wore a tie. Is this true?
Yeah. Ken.
Wow. For someone who dogs the collar shirt, he wore a tie. That's interesting. It's classy.
Yeah, classy. A nice pink tie,
A pink tie. Okay. Was he wearing a collared shirt with it, or was he just wearing a pink tie with like a t-shirt like a hooligan?
I think it was collared. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Cinder in the chat. I got to learn his name is Jamie.
Okay. We love doxing people on the backstage. That's amazing. They told us to say our name and outlet. I said Jamie from Blathering Backstage. Cinder, we're best friends now. Like that's the kind of stuff we love to hear. Because I just hope people looked around like, what the hell is this kid talking about? But that's amazing. Ken would be the one to wear a tie. No, I mean I love it, and it's also it's funny. But the fact that it's a pink tie, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, the dress code was classy casual. Okay, so thank you for the report. We're gonna do BlatherCon at some point here. I think we should, I think Star Wars Celebration 2027 is the perfect, kind of vortex for that to happen.
Yeah, come on, Steve.
Ken hates that idea. But,
LA.
I'm not even kidding. Like I am planning to go to 2027 Celebration for sure. Like me and my wife talked about it. It's a whole thing. So that is already in the books.
I owe Cinder some drinks in Celebration. So Cinder, come to LA. Star Wars.
Right? Yes. Oh no, it's going to be an absolute shit show, but I will be there. I have 2 years to figure it out and make it work and plan as much as I can. Don't care. My wife's never been to California or the West Coast or anything, so I want to show. We're going to make a trip out of it. So that's the plan. So okay, so you told us about Ken. Tell us about your favorite video game. And then if you want to stick around, you can hang out for a little bit, and you can spin the wheel with the gang when we get to the wheel at the end of the show. Sound good?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so tell me about your game. What's your favorite?
So, I'm like the opposite of Addy. I play too many games.
I'm with you, dude.
Sometimes I'm like, I just like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I figure out the puzzle before it happens. It's just too many. But so I got a top 5.
Oh, I love this. Okay, you have a top 5. Oh, Brady. You're awesome. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get the horn ready. Okay, let me make sure let me get my sound effect here. Hold on. All right, boom. All right, Number 5.
So number 5, I have a lot of genres represented.
Okay.
So I kind of combined this. Number 5 is my simulation, life sim or whatever simulation.
Okay.
And that is SimCity and The Sims.
SimCity. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. SimCity. All right.
I had to put it because there's been times when I would just build a city, and I look at the time and I realize it is 5 in the morning. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. That it is a dangerous game for me. Same thing with The Sims. If I build a family, I build out their story.
Right.
Spend time writing like what the hell is going on, and build a house, and then, dear God, it is 3 in the morning. I need to go to sleep. I have things to do.
Character creation in every RPG ever for me. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can spend an hour creating a character. It is insane. And yeah, that just beats out Animal Crossing for me because I guess this is the hours I put in.
Yeah, it's okay. So SimCity, that's a go. And so there's like a lot of iterations. What is the most recent version of SimCity? Because I remember playing SimCity like in like 2000 or something. Like really, I remember I was really little. So like, what is the most recent version?
So for me,
SimCity
was one of my.
I love that. But go ahead. Sorry.
Got little side things going on.
Yeah, I know. This is it's cute. I haven't noticed that. Go ahead.
So I got SimCity was like one of my first games ever. So I played SimCity 4 back in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. Back then I would destroy cities more than create cities.
Okay. So you're still playing the old one. So there hasn't been like a new one in a while.
I mean, there was one they tried to reboot it in 2013, but that kind of
okay. That's not too bad. Okay. Yeah. So follow-up question, and before we'll get to the rest of your top 5, I promise. Are you a City Skylines guy?
I think I would be, but I just haven't gotten into it. It's weird. I own the game, and I feel like I would play the shit out of that game, but I don't know. It's just like that little hill you have to learn the systems. It's just a little bit different. Yeah. Oh, the Pacers. Yeah, Brady, we're going to talk about this for a second. We're going to take a break from your top 5 really quick, just because you are our resident basketball reporter. So how pissed off is the NBA that the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the NBA Finals? And how sad are you that the last NBA game on TNT has concluded? First, the finals. As a basketball fan, these are probably the most fun teams to watch in the finals. I know there's like an entire narrative about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being a foul merchant, but I feel like that's more of a narrative than really if you actually watch him. And the pace. It's just the Pacers. They play such a fast and fluid form of basketball. I feel like if you just let go of the big market or whatever, and this is the problem in other sports, right? If Green Bay makes it to the Super Bowl, like everyone is super hyped. But yeah, just beyond the big markets of all, I think it's a really fun matchup, and just the NBA. I think you can just say a lot of things about the NBA media and their promotion in the game. Yeah, and I think that brings me to the TNT. This might be a hot take. Okay. Brady's gonna. Okay, I'm a little worried for this, but go ahead. I don't have much of a feeling about the last TNT game. That being the last TNT game. I feel like TNT's actual production has over the past couple years have been, all right. I mean, I think it's better compared to ESPN. Okay. That's ESPN. And I've had my own quibbles with their halftime show and their post-game show. Okay. Like the Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, all that. Okay. Yeah. I gotta say, Ernie. Yeah, Ernie is always. I love Ernie. Ernie is great. Yeah. But this is my hot take: is that okay? I'll say it was great in like the 2010s. That was like peak television. But recently, I think it's mainly with like Shaq's. His recent shtick is like he's become kind of an old head.
Yeah.
And that's triggers some of Chuck's old headedness.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes they just go on a 10 to 20 minute rant. I'm just like, okay.
When Kenny Smith is the voice of reason for the youth, you've got an interesting show. But you're right. I do love Ernie. It's going to be interesting to see how if this show is any different next year on ESPN. But is it ESPN or Amazon? It's both, isn't it, or something like that? I think it's ESPN, or I think it's owned by ESPN because the crew is going to be working the show. Like from what I read about this, like it's just not going to be on TNT.
Yeah.
But like the folks that are going to be out, like they're retaining a lot of the people that work on the show, so that at least a whole bunch of people aren't like losing their jobs, I guess. But yeah. So and the other thing, that's the other. Will makes a great point. The NBC is getting the NBA again next year after being gone for a long time. I remember watching the NBA on NBC as a kid. That is my when I associate watching Michael Jordan on TV with NBC, watching those Jazz finals, and Round Ball Rock, baby. I'm so excited for Round Ball Rock to be back. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The NBA hasn't been on NBC in like
years.
Forever. I don't remember.
20 years. Yeah, I think it's been at least 20 years. I mean, like post Jordan, I think is when they lost the rights to it. So, because I think like those Laker teams, I think that was all on ABC. So
yeah.
Okay, so Bray, we gotta get back to your top 5. What is your number? Go ahead, finish. But what is your number 4 game?
So before I get to my number 4 game, I want to say I'm really excited for it to be back on NBC. The theme, even though I've never watched a game NBA on NBC, I know that theme because of the SNL skit.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm a little paused because they brought back the voice of someone through AI, which is I thought it was kind of weird because you can just get a new guy. There's a lot of announcers, a lot of talented people. But,
Yep.
It's okay,
That conversation's not going anywhere, Brady. We're gonna keep having that, I think, for quite a while here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with you. I am for let's give new people a chance and new jobs and things. I think there are interesting scenarios like what Ken talked about earlier this week with Darth Vader and Fortnite and James Earl Jones and all that kind of thing. I think pre-agreed things are a different world than what we're blah 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 blah. So anyway,
it's like a chatbot apparently.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I played it with Ken Plume and Lauren Roma earlier today, and Plume was just talking shit to Vader the whole time. He was trying to get Vader to talk shit to Lauren Roma, but and talking shit to me. Sounds like Plume just wants to talk shit to all of us. Is what I'm kind of gathering. So, but anyway, no, we were playing, and yeah, we were messing around with the AI Vader. It was a good time. It's funny. It is pretty funny. So, anyway, so speaking of games. Let's get through the rest of this list, Brady. What is your number 4 favorite video game?
So this is it's Super Metroid. That is my favorite retro game.
Super Metroid, not okay. So Super Metroid Prime is the new one, right? Super Metroid on
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Okay.
I need to play it on like an original Super Nintendo because I've only experienced it on an emulator.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But man, that game is like a modern game. I don't want to age anyone, but kind of am anyway. But that is a modern game. Like it's from I think 1992 or was it 94? But it is aged fantastically. Actual Metroid. I played the remake of the actual Metroid on Game Boy, and that is also good. But Super Metroid, it set the standard for the series, I think, and basically all there's a new genre that it spawned called Metroidvania, like a combination of Metroid and Castlevania because they have similar gameplay concepts.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and that even after all this time, I still feel like that is the best of the best. I'm sorry.
Poor JB. All right, so number 5 was SimCity. Number 4 was Metroid.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid. My apologies. Very important distinction. Number 3.
Number 3. This is my platformer category, and that is Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii.
Oh, excellent choice. Excellent choice. Super Mario Galaxy. Okay.
And
Okay,
just,
love
like,
that. Super
from
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah,
go ahead.
From a platforming perspective, the thing like Nintendo does with their level design, they just it's just like it's a very smooth like introduction to all the concepts, and they can do like crazy things. Like one time you're okay, there's like the normal game like run and jump, Mario and Galaxy have the spin, right, the gravity mechanics, and then at another moment you're like in a bubble and you have to you have to blow Mario to the end, they just introduced that concept really well.
Yeah.
Some concepts like rolling on a bowling pin, the controls aren't the best, but it's still fun, and man, this is probably some nostalgia as well because Mario Galaxy was was the first game I beat, I think.
Oh, it's a great. No, this is a great game. This isn't a nostalgia thing. That's a very good game.
Yeah, but it's a great game, but with a little bit of nostalgia, so up there.
Okay, so that was number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2. This fills my RPG, the RPG genre, and for me that is Persona 5.
Okay, Persona 5. I am not as I've heard of the series. I know of it. Never played it, but I know it is very popular. So give me the 15-second elevator pitch on Persona.
So Persona 5, you play as Japanese teenagers, and they explore a lot of themes like anxiety as a teenager and whatnot. But this anxiety is as a metaphor for the actual game itself. So that you play into your mental state, and that is where the RPG comes in. So there's like a real life component where you're just a student, and then you go to sleep, and you're exploring a dungeon. And a dungeon is like a metaphor for your mental struggles. And,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And all the characters like meet each other. They become friends, and it is great. It is fantastic and
interesting. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Okay. All right. So that was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is number 1?
It's another 2017 game. 2017, I think.
Good year for games.
Good year for games. It informed a lot for me personally. In terms of art, 2017 was Last Jedi as well, and that really, informed a lot of my worldview in terms of, movies. And this one for video games is, of course, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Excellent choice, sir.
It is. I think nowadays it's kind of basic, but you know what? I was the first. I was pre-ordering Breath of the Wild.
You're talking to the king of basic, my friend. No worries. Vanilla ice cream, plain potato chips, Luke Skywalker, baby. Give it to me.
Let's go. But for me, I was waiting for this game for like years. I was a big Zelda fan beforehand. And it just, I think it really informed, like, it really changed the way I viewed games. Like, my list is, all the games on my list are thematic informed gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you explore a certain theme through your gameplay. And Breath of the Wild, I think, really explored that. Breath of the Wild is all about like being put in a really bad situation and persevering, forming relationships, and overcoming past follies and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like the story is kind of minimal, because the story is your what you play is the story. And of course, there's a bunch of chaos, right? You can burn out the entire forest, of course. There's a lot of jank, and that makes it fun. And yeah,
great choice. Love Breath of the Wild. It is my number 3 Zelda game. It is definitely on my OLI on my top 5, but it's not quite there. It's my number 3 Zelda game, and I will reveal the rest of my Zelda games after I tell you the rest of my number 2s, or the rest of my top 5. So I said my number 3 was Halo 2. My number 2 favorite game of all time is Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. That is my number 2 favorite game of all time. If you have not played it, it came out on the OG Xbox. To this day, okay, Fallen Order and Survivor have very good lightsaber combat, and it matches kind of like with the generation. JMB, KOTOR is like probably 6 on the list, and the reason why is just because I loved the RPGs and everything, but when I played KOTOR, I wanted so bad. Like when I was a kid and I played KOTOR, I as much as I liked the turn-based kind of aspect of it, I wanted the action that Jedi Academy gave me, and so I just remember Jedi Academy get it. And KOTOR is not overrated at all. That's not at all what I said. If I said 5 seconds ago KOTOR was overrated, that is not true at all. It is like number 6 for me on my top 5, like probably all games of all time is what I'm saying. It's OLI on the list. KOTOR is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Love that game. Second favorite Star Wars game ever. Okay. But number 1 is Jedi Academy. That scratched the itch so much in the time that it came out. The lightsaber combat in that game is incredible. The modding community is great later on because it had Star Wars Jedi Academy movie battles is one of the greatest PC game mods of all time. I'll fight people for that. It has like a multiplayer community to this day where people are just lightsaber dueling. They've tweaked the controls and kind of some of the mechanics a little bit to make it good. This game is amazing. And I also remember this was the first video game that I purchased online that was then shipped to me. And this was like the first thing I remember like checking, like trying to track a package, like in the early days of tracking packages on the internet, like looking up your tracking code and shit like that. I was so fucking excited when this game arrived at my house and got delivered to my parents' house. I was so happy. And I spent a whole weekend. I was a complete degenerate that weekend playing Jedi Academy. So I absolutely love that game. Number 2 is Jedi Academy. Love it. If you haven't played that, it's on Steam. You can get it it's on Switch too. I think it's on like one of those retro games on Switch. I think I see Svetnik nodding his head in the green room. Totally recommend. Love that game. So favorite Star Wars game of all time. Anyway, Brady, thank you so much for. That was your you gave your number 1. Yeah, your Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your video game. I love this conversation. Yeah. So this will probably be a bracket at some point. We'll probably do a video game bracket. I think this will be a good bracket for sure. The community seems to like this. I think Ken will like this as a bracket idea. So I'll give you guys all credit for that. So anyway, look at this. Hold on. I gotta show you guys this. Shady is now cuddling with the Porg.
Oh,
hold on. He is now officially cuddling with the Porg. Let me move it over just a little bit. There we go. It's great. Anyway,
wait, that's a live cam?
Yeah, that's my dog. He's behind me. Yeah.
I thought it was like a picture.
Oh, you guys thought? Oh no, man, that's that is live and in person. He's just on the couch behind me. He's just hanging out. He's my producer. So what he's doing now is basically what I do for Ken during the Blathering shows. It's the same amount of effort as you can see. So. Yeah, he's a good pooch. Yeah, him and the Porg and BB-8. Yeah, but you can see BB-8 kind of sneaking over the edge over there. So, yeah, so that's the crew here at the Blathering Backstage, and all of you, of course. You guys are the real crew. But Brady, thank you so much for sharing your games. That was awesome. I love that discussion and our little NBA foray, a little dalliance into the NBA. I love that. I want to talk more sports with you, and I hope we. I want to talk to you about doing something around the finals. Maybe we will educate the Blathering community on NBA. Maybe we'll do I would love to do some kind of like watch along for one of the finals games, maybe.
Yeah.
And we just shoot the shit during the finals games or something, and we have like some graphics up and stuff like that. That might be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll figure that out.
Ask.
Yeah. One more thing. Go for it.
Your NBA team.
My NBA team. This is going to take a long time. You're going to judge me. This is going to take a long time. Okay. Let me preface this by saying, I have a sport from everywhere I lived. Okay, I follow professional sport from everywhere I lived as a kid. So you guys know I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. I was born in Cincinnati. I lived in Pennsylvania twice growing up. I am a Miami Heat fan. I lived in South Florida. I know Jared's flicking me off. I lived in South Florida during from 2000 and end of 2001 through the year after Dwayne Wade was drafted. Okay. And then the year they won the finals with Shaq was the year I moved to Virginia, or the year before that was the year I moved to Virginia. And so I am a huge. I see. There's a private chat, and I'm 10 times. I'm guessing. Oh, okay, never mind. That wasn't it. I thought that was Jared just talking more shit in the green room. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a Miami Heat fan. To give you a very long-winded answer on that, I'm a mutt. I'm a professional sports mutt. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry.
I mean, the Miami Heat. That's a good franchise right there.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm not. I love my team, but I got a lot of shit for that for a long time because the Heatles and all that kind of stuff. Everyone just assumes you're a bandwagon fan, but I liked the Heat. Like
2001?
Literally, I had an Alonzo Mourning jersey as a kid.
Yeah, that's a real fan right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and then Wade got drafted, and it was like, oh shit, we're like actually gonna be good now.
Yeah.
So, and then Will Smith went on stage at the MTV Movie Awards and said, "I got you guys a gift, and it's gonna be a real son of a bitch to have to return it." And he brought out Shaq. And that was like how I remember Shaq getting announced for the Miami Heat. Yeah.
Wait, that's how they announced it?
That was like pop culture. That's how pop culture. And this was pre-Schefter and like pre-Shams and pre-Woj bombs and everything like that. This was pre-Twitter, right? You have to understand this was pre-social media. Like I think MySpace might have been a thing back then, but like the way that the young people learned, it was on SportsCenter and stuff reported first, but like the way that he was introduced, the way that LeBron and Bosh and Wade did the thing on stage with the fireworks, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, all that, was Will Smith saying, "Hey, I got you guys a present. It's a real bitch to return." And Shaq came out, and that was how he was introduced to Miami. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They need to do that again. That is fireworks.
So there you go. Now you know my dirty little dark sports secret is I'm a Miami Heat fan.
I have more questions to ask, but
let's save that for another backstage.
Yep.
All right. Well, buddy, thank you so much for being here. If you want to hang out, we'll spin the wheel at the end, okay?
Yeah, of course.
All righty. So we're gonna keep on keeping on here, everyone, with the backstage. Thank you for hanging out. We're definitely gonna go over 2 hours today, so we're not gonna be as short as last time, but we're not gonna go 3 hours. You bastards. He just looked up. He's like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, no, we're not going to go 3 hours. And just for that, Jared, just because of your smart-ass self, here we're going to look at Shady really quick while I get a beer out of the refrigerator. Enjoy that smooth jazz. Didn't need the can opening sound to be too loud. So yeah, we're going to bring on here just momentarily Jared, or no, not Jared. Sorry, Jared, you're going last. We're gonna bring on Osvetnik here soon. If you're good to go, Mr. Osvetnik. Thank you so much. You even put your name in the parentheses. Do you want me to call you by your name, or do you want me? Is that cool? Like, would you rather we go that? Okay. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna bring you on here in just a moment. We're gonna talk about your favorite video game. And you tell me if there's anything else you wanted to call in about tonight and get off your chest. And then we'll get to Jared, and then we'll do some wheel spins before Addie falls asleep. Does that sound like a plan, everybody? Does that sound good, Shady Dog? Porg, BB-8? All right, the crew's on board. The crew is on board. All right, so give me a thumbs up if you're good. If your camera good. Sorry, I don't remember. We're 4 beers in, folks. You know how that is. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Our good friend Osvetnik is here. He's going to share with us his favorite video game and anything else he has on his mind. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I am all in on the video game discussion.
Oh, love this. No, I thought this would be a good one. I thought this would be a good topic, and I do think this is going to be okay. Hold on, Jambi says that he loves your shirt. Can you? I don't mean to be too. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, okay. I have a similar one. I have one that's kind of like that. Dig that shirt. That's very cool.
I got it on clearance.
Nice. Kohl's?
Old Navy.
Okay,
$6.
Close enough. Yeah, I got mine at Kohl's. Kohl's low-key has good Star Wars, Marvel, like nerd shirts. I just try to push my glasses up, and I'm not wearing glasses. It's hot. So what do you got going on? Is there anything else you want to share before we get to your favorite video game?
No, not really. Let's get into it.
Okay. Do you have one, or do you have a whole top 5 like Brady and I have to do the horn and stuff?
Man, I was trying to narrow it down. It's really difficult.
You give me a 3. You got 3?
Yeah, we could do
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with number 3.
So, okay, I think, yeah, okay. So, when I was a kid, I was not a Nintendo kid. I was a PlayStation kid. The very first video game console that we had when I was a kid was the very first PlayStation. And the first game I ever played on it was Crash Bandicoot. So I was out for a good half hour there. Yeah. I was out for a good half hour there putting the kids to bed. So I don't know if this has been broached at all, but Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon were
excellent.
My things as a kid. I loved those games.
I love Spyro. Oh man, the first Spyro chain. Oh man, that was probably the first Spyro was probably my favorite OG PlayStation game.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Because you had the platforming and everything, but adding in the gliding was
so cool. Yeah, it was so cool.
And then the flying levels where you had to go through and take out all the different I
remember having to get all those damn statues. Yeah.
Yes, statues and trains and God knows what else.
Yeah, love Spyro. Good game. It was funny too.
Yeah.
The writing was good in Spyro.
Yeah, he was. All the Nintendo kids had Mario and whatever, and they were super nice. Spyro was kind of a sassy little shit.
Right. Yeah, and the people in the other dragons in Spyro were not all so they were all kind of the same way.
I played. They did the remake. Yeah, they did the remake a little bit ago, and I played through all 3 of them. And I was like, man, the other dragons were really kind of not very nice to Spyro all the time. They were this little runt kid. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so your number 3 is a split between Crash Bandicoot and Spyro.
Yeah, I would go that way.
All right, number 2.
Has anybody talked Pokemon at all?
No, we have not. Well, Addie talked about Let's Go Eevee. She said she didn't really remember playing the OG Pokemon games. But she said she enjoyed Let's Go Eevee. I played Let's Go Pikachu, so it's the same thing.
Yes.
I actually low key my hot take on that is that's my favorite Switch Pokemon game. I haven't really enjoyed a lot of the newer ones, and I'm just a sucker for the first 3 gens of Pokemon. I love the first gen Pokemon. It's so good.
Yeah.
But please, okay. So which one? Which one is what's your favorite Pokemon game?
So, if I'm being honest,
this is so hard.
My favorite. So I think my favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Sun. So that's Gen 7.
Okay, is that
so? Here's
Switch?
Or
is that right before
no, that
Switch?
was 3DS.
Okay. Okay.
So, and I can't see the chat, so I don't know how controversial this is going to be.
No, you're okay. I mean, but, Brady says he's put 200 hours into Sword and Shield. I love that game. I have Sword and Shield too. I think I have Sword. I think that's the one Switch game that I played Arceus a little bit. I think I'm saying that right. And it's
yeah, sure.
It's okay. I don't know. It just didn't get me the same way.
So my Pokemon journey.
Yeah.
I didn't have a game. I didn't have a Game Boy or anything as a kid.
Okay.
After our firstborn, I was wanting to play games, but we were all over the place. I ended up getting a 3DS and picking up Pokemon Sun because that was the most recent.
Okay.
And I had played some of the older ones on emulators on my phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
But Pokemon Sun is the first one I ever completed the Pokedex in. The first one I ever shiny hunted in.
Nice.
Or anything like that. And I just kind of have a soft spot for the ones from that gen.
Right.
And I hold that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are actually very good games. They're just not very well made. I don't know if you've played the new ones, the newest ones.
No, I have not. The most recent one I've played is Arceus.
Basically, those ones have everything you would ever want in a Pokemon game, except the engine is terrible.
Yeah, I've heard it
and
looks shitty, and from what I've seen, it doesn't look great.
Like, there's
Yeah.
no getting around it. It looks terrible. Like, things are popping in and out of existence all over the place. You're falling through the ground every once in a while. It's
Oof.
not great.
Yeah.
But as far as all the mechanics of things you would want in a Pokemon game, it's all there.
Oh,
If
that's
they
cool.
would just, it gives me hope that the next one they can polish it up.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we supposed to get? Are they on a yearly schedule still? Are we expecting to get one? Like, are we thinking we're going to get a Switch 2 Pokemon game like holiday this year? Do we know anything about that?
So there will be a.
I need to justify this
Pokemon
purchase. Is
game.
what I'm getting at.
There will be a Pokemon game coming in. I believe it'll be. I think November,
Okay. I
something
can
like
live with
that.
I can live with
Somewhere
that.
in the fall.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not going to be Generation 10, like the new, like
Okay.
like the follow. It won't be the follow up to Scarlet and Violet.
Are they going to do like
basically.
another Arceus
It'll be
type kind of thing?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. I can live with that.
I think it's called Pokemon ZA, and
Okay.
it takes place in the region from Gen 6, which was the
Okay.
which was like the France one, Kalos.
Okay. They had a France region. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
They had a
Scarlet and
Gorman.
Violet
They had a
was-
Gorman
yeah.
region for Pokemon.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Scarlet and Violet was very Spain and like Mediterranean-ish kind
I
of.
love that. Okay, see,
thing.
I fell out of
Yeah.
Pokemon before all that started happening because I played
Yeah.
it as a bunch as a kid. I played Red and Blue
Mhm.
religiously as a child. Sister Margaret was hitting me on the back of the neck with a yardstick because I was playing Pokemon in the middle of CCD class.
And those games were basically like Japan, like Kyoto.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Pokemon is the reason why I learned that water conducts electricity.
Uh-huh.
That helped me a lot as a kid. Multiplication helped, dude. Pokemon helped me with. I sucked at math as a kid, and that game legitimately like helped me with a kid, like as a kid, like with numbers and with math and stuff, and like. So yeah, so
Stats.
I would remember.
Figure out stats.
You know, right? Exactly. So like, damn you, Hillary Clinton, for telling me as a kid that video games are bad for us and everything. It's just because all you ever saw was people playing Doom, bastard. Which is also really good. Okay, so that's your number 2. Pokemon, just flat out is Pokemon. So what is your number 1? Yeah, what's number 1?
Boy. So, and I'll be honest, like I've got a list here. I'm not ranking them. I'm just like when it comes to this. So like, yeah, these are just kind of favorites. But I'll pick one more here to talk about. Have you played Astrobot?
Someone mentioned it, but I have not played Astrobot.
Has somebody mentioned it here tonight?
No, not on a call. It was in the
Oh,
chat
okay.
once. But yeah.
Yeah, Astrobot is phenomenal. If you liked as a kid like the Crash Bandicoots and the Spyros,
Uh-huh.
this is that, but on a modern console, and it's beautiful.
Okay, yes, it's on PS5, right?
Absolutely, yes, it's on PS5. It's fantastic.
Okay.
When it comes to like that classic platformer kind of thing, and like it's really fun if you are also like it's kind of as an added bonus if you're somebody who has been with PlayStation through the years. It's
Mhm.
fun because a lot of the theme of all of it is kind of PlayStation.
Oh,
Like
okay, right.
They've
Okay.
kind of positioned Astrobot to be PlayStation's kind of, mascot.
Like mascot,
at this
okay.
point.
Gotcha.
And so, like, the whole thing of the game is that Astro and all of his little bot friends are flying around space in their mothership, which is a PlayStation 5. and
okay.
and like aliens come and mess up the ship and the ship crash lands and you're trying to gather up all of his little buddies and fix the ship and whatever.
I love that.
But like all the other bots and stuff look like other like PlayStation characters and stuff.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
there's a Crash Bandicoot one, there's a Kratos one, there's a
Nice.
Last of Us characters.
Oh, that's
a
cool.
Nathan Drake. Yeah, a Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And then and it's just a lot of fun. And each there are a bunch of fun mechanics that are thrown in, like in certain levels that make things interesting, like slowing down time because everything's moving so fast, and then like it'll do this thing where it's like a bunch of like throwing darts are moving by like at like lightning speed or whatever, and you slow down time for like 10 seconds, and you're jumping from 1 to 1 as fast as you can before time starts again.
Mm-hmm.
And just fun stuff like that.
That's
but
awesome.
It's a really great game. If anybody out there is a big fan of platformers, I really recommend it. It was a lot of fun. It kind of took me back to childhood Crash Bandicoot kind of stuff. Including some of the frustration when it got a little more challenging than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I haven't played a platform like that in a really long time, but, man, I loved the Spyro games as a kid. I loved Crash Bandicoot. I did have an N64, so I liked Banjo-Kazooie. So that was, like, it wasn't quite platformer, but it was platformer-ish. It was kind of along the same lines as, like, a Spyro in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love those games. All right, good list, man. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. We're gonna have, from what this tells me is we're gonna have a pretty, when we do a game blather bracket, and that's definitely gonna be one of our blather brackets. Is one of these mini brackets. It sounds like it's gonna be. It's a deep bench. Yeah, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Is what it's gonna be. And seeding it is gonna be a son of a bitch. So. And
then just real quick, quick.
You got some OLIs. Yeah.
I guess I'll just a real quick shout out to Helldivers 2.
Okay. Heard a lot of good things.
It's really great. I had to get rid of PlayStation Plus recently because money and all the fun with that. But so I'm not playing it anymore, but it was a heck of a time.
Yeah, that's a great drop in, play it for 30 minutes, or like play a round or two or whatever. You can play with the boys or whatever, but it's a good, I just want to shoot shit and see a bunch of big explosions. I mean, it's
and the
fun.
Thing that I liked about it most, honestly, like I enjoyed Halos and like all of that. Like I enjoyed, when Destiny was first a thing and was still cool, and not what it is kind of now. That was also a lot of fun. What I liked about Helldivers 2 is that it is, it's collaborative. Instead of, pitting everybody against each other, you have you have a mission that all 4 of you are trying to do, and the community around that is really great. You are fighting a galactic war with everybody, and the developer has basically a dungeon master that is
He's just going like this
things around.
In the back.
Exactly, and it's fantastic.
It is. I totally agree. No, I've heard my buddy plays it. He tells us about it all the time. I've played it a little bit. I've only dabbled. I haven't like gotten into it. It's just one of those things I just haven't been able to like get good at. But it's a very satisfying game to play. And it's really pretty too. It looks good. But I totally agree with you. I love the games, like so many games put you against each other. I love the games where you just kind of like go back to being a kid and being like, let's beat up all the bad guys together. You know what I mean? That's great.
Yeah.
That's a lost art.
Yeah. So. And it's also kind of funny. So when you're playing and, the whole like theme of the whole thing is like this, like basically a future, democracy that's not really a democracy.
No, it's
anymore.
It's like Starship Troopers on steroids.
Yeah, it's and it's always funny when you get in with people that like full on role play that. Like it was more of, I feel like it was more a thing like in the first little while, but you still run into it every once in a while where somebody is just running around like for Super Earth.
Right.
Just it's really great. And I'm seeing JMB talking about, and some of the others talking about Skyrim and Elden Ring and Dark Souls. I'm big into Elden Ring right now. I've played Skyrim. Confession, I've never finished Skyrim.
A lot of people haven't. A lot of people haven't finished Skyrim. It's not just you.
Yeah.
I was a big Elder Scrolls fan growing up. Elder Scrolls is again one of my OLIs. Morrowind was my favorite Elder Scrolls game. between Skyrim, Elden, Morrowind, and Oblivion as far as like the recent, the modern games are. Daggerfall and Arena are just totally different things. But I played a little bit of ESO, the MMO, but Morrowind was that first game that was like, especially on the OG Xbox, that was the first game after the game that I'm going to talk about as my number one here soon. As far as being like open world, do whatever the hell you want. There are consequences, but like being able to go off in any corner of the map and do shit, it was just so cool back then. Like that was groundbreaking. I loved Morrowind. So the Elder Scrolls games are great. Skyrim is definitely in the video game Hall of Fame for sure. For a lot of people, I'm sure, and that's definitely no lie for me too. Just on the outside looking in. So, Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your games. I appreciate it. If you want to hang out and stick around, we'll spin the wheel here at the end. We'll bring everybody back, so feel free to chill. And I'm gonna bring on Jared here in just a moment, and then we'll do some wheel spinning. Sound good? All right. Thank you so much. I want to mention thank you again to Svetnik for joining us. That was a great list, and a lot of good OLIs. The Laserbolt has a great point. The magic system was the best of all time. You get so creative. Totally agree. Being able to like levitate and just fly wherever the hell you want was so freaking cool. Oblivion has a really good magic system too, where you can like create spells. But Laser, you made a good point earlier. I just wanted to say you do a lot of, you say most time spent obviously on Flight Simulator, but you don't call it a game. Of course, it's a simulator. It's like the same thing whenever I play iRacing with people and they get all pissy when you call it a game. No, it's a sim. Fucking nerds. But no, I love Flight Sim. I've played a lot of Microsoft Flight Sim myself. If you guys are into games or into watching any of that, check out Laserbolt's channel. They do Friday night flights. Every Friday they do a different flight path and have different they do a different like airplane every time, and Laser walks you through what the airplane is all about and how it flies and how much fun it is and what he likes about it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a cool chill stream to hear him chat with his boys and have a good time. I like to pop in there and say hi. And one of these days we're gonna do a producers in planes interviewing something. I don't know. We're gonna do something like that where we're gonna do a Blathering Backstage that's gonna be live the same time as Laserbolt, so you can have both streams up, right? And just mute one or just mute me and listen to Laserbolt. And we'll interview Laserbolt live in the air as we're both flying somewhere. Laserbolt, you can't do like a C-130 or something, dog. You gotta for this stream when we do this, you're gonna have to pick like a Cessna or like some twin engine little guy. Like I can't fly the crazy shit. I can just fly like the regional kind of planes. You know what I mean? I don't even think I can really do like the regional jets. We got to do something a little smaller, a little slower for your boy. And we'll do a fun little flight, something Blathering related. Maybe we'll go up and down the California coast or something like that in honor of Ken. And we'll talk to Laserbolt. We'll do an interview there for Backstage, and then we'll bring calls in like we always do. But we'll RP having you guys on the plane. So I'll figure some shit out where I'll have my green screen and I'll be in the cockpit. It'll be a whole thing. That'll be fun. That'll be really funny. Let's go 172s. Yeah, that might take a little while. We could probably go a little bigger than that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. The thing that made me cocky about playing Microsoft Flight Simulator was I'm pretty sure if you gave me like the keys or whatever I needed to literally start the plane for like a 172 for like just like a little like when it's like your basic ass like Cessna, I could probably steal that plane. I'm pretty confident I could steal that plane. I could get that plane in the... Now, again, I don't want to have to deal with, like, talking to, like, air traffic control or, like, following any, like, too many rules. If this is, like, a rural airport and me and Jared just, like, robbed a bank and, like, we have to get out as quick as we can, like, don't put your hands up. Like, of all the people here in the green room, Jared, you and I are the most likely to rob a bank. We know it's not going to be Addy. Like, come on, be fair. You know what I mean? But I would feel, like, 30% confident, Laser, that... I could get Jared and I in the air and over the border to Canada if we robbed a bank in like Buffalo. So just saying. Anyway, with that being said, I forgot what I was talking about before we were talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator and games like that. I'm going to reveal my number one game here as we bring Jared on right before we do. But my number one game, and because I'm going to give you some rankings here that someone asked for right before. My number one game of all time. Call me a basic bitch. I like vanilla ice cream. I like French fries. Or I like. I'm sorry. I like everyone likes French fries. I like vanilla ice cream. I like plain potato chips. I like Luke Skywalker. And my favorite game of all time is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, from the Nintendo 64, released in 1996, 1997. It was like the OG N64 game. It was the OG, in my opinion at least, open world, explore, do what you want, sword and shield. Like, the music is incredible. I hear that. First of all, I used like the opening theme song music. That was my alarm for so many years on my phone, because that was so much better. It was so much better to wake up to that than to wake up to like fucking Apple's like, you know, beep 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 nuclear codes alarm sound. You know, just like the little rift of on the piano notes. The differences between young Link and old Link, being able to have a horse and ride around, like that was so, I can't explain. Like, if you weren't a kid back then, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but like the idea of having a horse in an open world game that you could get on and ride around and stuff was so fucking cool. Like, we never had anything like that before. And honest to God, after Ocarina of Time, we had Majora's Mask a few years later, but there wasn't really anything like that for a while, like for a long time, until Oblivion, maybe, like in the same way that the Zelda games did it. And so you're talking damn near 8-9 years almost between when those games came out. I mean, Majora's Mask a little after, but like, or, you know, a little bit before that, because I think Majora's Mask was 99 or 2000, and then Oblivion was 2004, 2005 ish. So, but just like I said, like that awesome, like, open worldness, freedom to do whatever you want. The story was so good. The temples were amazing. It was a long game. I love Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is my number 3 favorite Zelda game of all time. Link's Awakening Link to the Past is number 2, and Ocarina of Time is number 1. But yeah, I still go back and play it to this day. There's some great emulators online where you can play it in like 4K and 60 FPS, and it looks amazing. Love that game. Absolutely love that game. Majora's Mask is also great there. I almost just kind of like lump it with it because the story is not the same. It is a little bit shorter, but that's what I love about Ocarina of Time. Is it's a long game. It takes a long time to get through all those temples. I love Breath of the Wild. The world is so great. There's so much cool shit to do, but the thing I didn't like, the thing that let me down a little bit with it, and the reason why it's only number 3 is because the main story itself is short, in my opinion. I thought it was a little too short. Like, I wish it was longer. I wish there was 6 ancient beasts or whatever to have to get, not just 4. You know what I mean? It just, and also the temples in Breath of the Wild are really fucking easy. I mean, there's no water temple in the Breath of the Wild, for example. So that's in my humble opinion, that's where I put that there. So with that said, enough of me being just gloating about myself. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can actually see what you guys have said in the chat here. So do you think Ocarina is held up? Do you think it should get a remake? Okay, Tully, this is a great question. And I think Brady makes a great counter here. On 3DS, they kind of do make like a remake of it, where they did a remaster of it. They remastered it on GameCube. They remastered it on 3DS. I don't know if you can play it on Switch on like as the online version, which I think is probably, if you can, it's just the 3DS version, I imagine. I'm a sweaty tryhard, 100%. That is, yeah, the next dungeon needs legit. Yep, we're on the same page, dude. 100% agree. It needs legit dungeons again. The war, like, it's almost like they had to balance between, okay, do you guys want like one of the best open worlds in all of gaming, and then we got to slack a little bit on the dungeons, or the other way around, right? And so I'm gonna lie, I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom yet. I like played half of it. Okay, we're friends here, right? I'm gonna share something really delicate. I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom, even though I really, really love Zelda, and I imagine it's like amazing. But I got it kind of late, and I started playing I'm like 4 or 5 hours into it, and then I learned about like the upgraded version we're gonna be able to get for the Switch 2, and I was able to get a Switch 2 pre-order. So I was like, I'm just gonna save it and play it on Switch 2 and see if it like looks better and all that kind of stuff. Because to be fair, it lagged a little bit on Switch. Like it chugs a little bit. So I was like, maybe with the extra horsepower, this will run better. So I'll report back on Tears of the Kingdom when I finish it on Switch too. So I probably will start. I don't know if I even can play my existing save, but I'm gonna try to start over on Switch too. So yeah. Anyway, I can talk about Zelda all day, but that's why it's amazing, and it reminds me of my childhood and everything. I had the Prima guide for Ocarina of Time. I bring that thing to school to read it for after school, because we had to like read for like 20 minutes before we could like do after school recess and shit like that. So I would just sit there and read about how to get through the Fire Temple when I got home, stuff like that. So absolutely love that game. So without further ado, because damn it, we're gonna get so close to 3 hours, and Jared's gonna give me so much shit for it. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on, and Addie's going to fall asleep, so we can't go that long, Jared. I'm going to bring on Jared to the show. He's going to share his favorite game with us. I'm not going to rush him because everyone else has had lots of time too. But when Jared is done, we will bring the crew back, and we will spin the wheel, and then Addie can go to bed. So without further ado, Mr. Jared, I have to ask for consent. You are good with your camera. Thumbs up, my friend. As always, that's not a thumbs up, but I know what you mean. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We've done much worse. Good timing. Jared, before we go any further, can we just I gave you guys a tour of my office last time. Can you just tell me exactly what's on your wall behind you as far as your fantastical weapons?
Oh, God. So we've got... Darth Maul's lightsaber. We got Return of the Jedi, Luke, Kylo's. We got the main hero blade, the Skywalker blade, and then the one on the end is just a Ultra Saber custom thing.
Okay.
There's a sword. It's going horizontal here. That's the dragon dagger from Mighty Morphin. The Gold Ranger staff is down over there. Yeah, there's more stuff in the attic.
There's always more stuff in the attic.
There's
always more stuff in the attic.
Saber right here. There's another one.
I've got that one on my. I've got that one on my shelf behind me. The one that the Kylo Ren one you were holding. Yeah.
Yeah, I do own shirts.
He owns shirts. He's not a savage. He owns shirts. So that one of those Power Ranger ones that you had on your wall. I have a funny story about that. I think it's the Gold Ranger one. Yeah. Is that like the square looking thing on the? It looks like a mace almost on the front. Okay.
Yeah.
So when that toy came out, this was I think like 1995 or something like. This was mid 90s, right? This was old. What I'm thinking of. This was pre the OG movie. Okay. I remember wanting that toy really bad. We saw it at Target. I went home. My dad said, "If you can tie your shoes, I'll buy you the toy." If you can figure out how to tie your shoes, again, like I essentially raw dogged learning how to tie my shoes. Zero instruction. He was like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to do it for you. If you figure out how to tie your shoes this weekend, we'll go to Target. We'll buy the toy for you. So I spent the next like 2 days trying so damn hard to figure out how to tie my own shoes without zero help. I like would watch my brother like tie his shoes, and he would like turn around and like, so he would like hide him because he didn't want to help me at all. And my dad, and so my mom thought it was hilarious too. So yeah, my whole family was just like picking on me, making me learn how to tie my shoes this way. But it took about 2 days, 2.5 days, and then I figured it out. And I remember showing my dad how proud I was. And then that Saturday we went and got that like $30 whatever it was Power Rangers toy.
You know how much they go for now? Story.
How much?
Hundreds. Sometimes.
Hundreds. Oh, see, I mean, to be fair, I played with mine. I used the shit out of it, so it wouldn't be worth anything now. But you know what? That's what it's for, baby. That's what it was for.
No,
that's what it was for. So I'm sure I've got some magic cards in my mom's like basement or my mom's attic. They're like worth something too.
Do.
You know what I mean?
If you play
they're nothing like really big, but I probably have like a demonic tutor or something sitting around somewhere. That's, you know what I mean? Something, I don't know. It's probably burnt to shit or like ripped to shit, but I got something out there.
I'm sure that somebody will pay for something. I mean, what's his name? Buy the One Ring for like 2.3 million.
Post Malone bought the One Ring for $2 million. Yeah, $2 million. I don't know what the context is here. I just wanted to highlight this one. Always been more of a rebel pilot instead of a Jedi. Anyway, love that. I think we're talking about some different weapons. Oh yeah, we're talking about different. I love this. Sorry, you guys. I don't have my glasses on, so it's really hard for me to see this stuff.
Oh
I even
yeah,
made the thing
since you didn't have your
trigger.
glasses, you've missed what we've been asking in chat.
Oh yeah,
what
yeah,
the hell
yeah,
is
tell me,
OLI,
help me.
IOL?
Oh, okay. OLI. Damn, I said
Nobody
this
knows what you're talking about.
Damn it.
Literally
outside looking in. So it's not the top 5. They're like they're the guys that aren't allowed. They're outside the club and they're looking in the door like wishing they can get in. That's OLI, outside looking in. There you go. Sorry, Brady. I thought you would know that as a basketball person. I'm a little disappointed that I'm the only person on this bridge, but LOI. Hey, Addy, let's just say Producer Steve's had 4 beers, so you know that acronyms can get tough at this point, and we're over the 2-hour mark. All bets are off.
We're almost at 2.5.
Listen, what's your favorite video game, bastard?
So I'm gonna make this as short as simple as I can, because I too have an ungodly list. But here's
Adam, have a good shift. Sorry, Jared, let me cut you off. He's been a trooper. He's been hanging out with us. He was caffeinated. I hope we were a good pregame for work. Thank you for joining us. Great call. Great trip down memory lane on some of those games. Thank you so much, Adam. Take care. Sorry, Jared. Please go ahead.
No, you're good. So, but then I also realized when I wrote this list, I'm like, I don't really game ever did as a kid. And literally the 20-ish odd games I have here are every game I've ever played.
You have 20 games in front of you?
Give or take.
Are they ranked, or are they just like, is it just chicken scratch, like here's 20 games?
It's just kind of chicken scratch, but I was going to go through them all real quick enough.
All right, no, you're going to rapid fire. You're going to say each game, and I'm going to horn after everyone. Ready?
Okay, so we got Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. We got Super Metroid. Link to the Past. Command and Conquer Red Alert. Doom 1 and 2. The first 3 Mortal Kombats. Left 4 Dead 2. Batman Arkham City. Tony Hawk's 1 through 3, and Dave Mara's Pro BMX 1.
Good pick. Great pick.
There was this snowboarding game when the first Xbox launched called Amped.
Oh, I was thinking you say SS Tricky, but okay.
Nope. There was the Tony Hawk ripoff called Sean Palmer Pro Snowboarder.
I thought you were going to go skate, but okay.
Nope. F-Zero.
Great pick. Great pick.
Echo the Dolphin.
Oh, great pick. Echo the Dolphin. Hell yes.
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam. He's getting hot.
Donkey Kong Country.
He's on fire.
For Super NES, Super Tennis. It was an amazing tennis game. The only Grand Theft Auto I ever played, Vice City.
The best Grand Theft Auto.
Yes. The Aladdin game for Sega back in the day.
Fuck that game. Fuck that game. The game made me so angry. I hated that game. Go ahead. Continue.
The Batman Returns game for Super NES. There was, for PlayStation 2, there was a mountain biking game called Downhill Domination, which was pretty epic. The old Jurassic Park game.
Wait, hold on. You have to old Jurassic Park game. What the hell was that on? Like the OG Jurassic Park game, like the OG movie Jurassic. Okay. Was that Nintendo? Super Nintendo.
Sega.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
You played mostly as Grant.
Yeah.
That was the main campaign, but then there was the side one where you could play as the Raptor.
I just remember driving the Jeep, like for some level. That's all I remember. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
We got Mario Kart 64. The first 3 Marios for NES, and then the one for Super NES.
Okay.
Star Fox 64.
Excellent pull.
GoldenEye, obviously.
Yeah, Adam went over that thoroughly. Everyone loves GoldenEye.
The one that I liked more for the story and the playability was actually 007 Nightfire for PS2.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Not a bad game.
Yep, that's it.
I think I played that on GameCube.
Yeah, that's pretty much every game I think I've played.
Terrific. So you mentioned fighting games. JMB asks for Soul Calibur or Tekken, but you liked Mortal Kombat, right?
I had Mortal Kombat. I've probably like at a friend's house done some Tekken or stuff like this, but these were like ones I remember growing up, either owning or renting or playing specifically a lot. Especially that God Dolphin game. I never figured out.
Dude, here's the thing. You guys want to go down a rabbit hole before you go to bed tonight? Addy, before you fall asleep, here's a funny thing to Wikipedia. Look up the lore to Echo the fucking Dolphin. I could do a video essay on the lore to Echo the Dolphin. It is fucking ridiculous. Like, you think Scientology is crazy? No, dude. You know what? Honestly, Echo the Dolphin might have just taken Scientology and was like, let's make a video game and make it some crazy shit. Because that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. Yeah. Great list. I mean, you didn't. Okay, have any of those? Is there anything you have a favorite on? Like, gun to your head? Like, if you're going to go to prison, like, you can bring one game with you. What are you bringing?
Yeah, probably Super Metroid or Link to the Past.
Link to the Past is a great pick. Yeah. Link to the Past is a great pick. Love that game.
Yeah, that's my Zelda hot take because I have dabbled in the others, but Link to the Past is just the best Zelda. Period.
Yeah. So you're on NHL 94 guy? I can't believe you didn't know. Is that not your jam?
No, I would play it here and there. Sports games I just didn't include because to me sports games are just like I don't get it. You buy the same game every year.
Yeah, well, we're suckers. What do you expect? Like people buy Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns tickets. Like, what do you expect? We're suckers. We're sports fans. That's what we do.
I'm currently on a dynasty in this one, so don't get me wrong. I play.
See, this is another thing I'm advocating for PC people. If you ever join Ken Napzok's Discord, I can't talk. Join the Discord. If you want to know anything about PC gaming and stuff like that, hit us up. I will help you with that kind of stuff. I love that kind of shit. I'm always down to talk about that stuff. What's cool about PC gaming is shit like that, Jared. Like the I think there's like NHL 13 or 14 is on PC, and people just mod it every year and just give you the rosters so you don't have to buy the game every year, right? I've done that with the F1 games for a long time because half the time the F1 games that come out every year are pretty shitty. So I was playing the F1 2020 for like every year because someone on a mod puts out the 2025 season or whatever. And the cars and the drivers are all the same, but whatever, right? So, that's one of the great things about PC gaming is shit like that. But no, you're right. NHL games are fun.
Yeah, and my big thing too, especially as you start to get into like their late aughts and teens for a lot of sports games, all of a sudden it's like you don't just use X and Y anymore. It's like, you have to juke and use both thumbsticks and all the triggers.
Right. Yeah.
No, I grew up on NES and some ColecoVision.
Yeah, but sometimes the old games are like, I still go back to, especially on the emulator stuff, like the OG Star Wars games on Super Nintendo. Those things are so much fun. I don't know. Sometimes I just got stuff right back then. But yeah, you're right. Fighting games I could never get into just because that was the type of like skill that was like on the line for me between enjoying it and having to be like competitive to be good at it or to enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's like fighting games, you have to be good at it to have fun with it. With a lot of games, you don't have to be good at them to have fun with them, right?
At least if you have somebody who's kind of on your level where you can split the wins equally. Right.
Yeah, especially in older games when you're playing like in person stuff. Nowadays, if you play online, like you're gonna get your ass kicked unless you like practice all the time. You know what I mean?
Fun story. The first time Jared ever experienced online play was when I believe it was the 360 that came out. It was Ace Combat Fighter 6.
Love Ace Combat. Ace Combat, love Ace Combat. Great games.
The sixth one had just come out, and my neighbor was heavy into it and had the full joystick with the throttle.
Yeah.
So I went over to try it, and he put me in like a live lobby, just a random thing. I got to fly around for about 3 seconds before I was destroyed. The most I got to fly around was about 15 seconds, and like I got to shoot a missile. I don't know. It probably hit the ground. I didn't see it go off because I died before it did.
Those games are so pretty too. Even the older ones, those are surprisingly hold up well. I think it was Ace Combat 4 was the really popular one on PS2. I remember the funny thing about it was either Ace Combat 2 or 4. Not funny. Interesting thing. Very, very clear about that. Memorable thing. I remember seeing on the packaging to Ace Combat, I think it was Ace Combat 4. This was a few months after 9/11, and there was like a disclaimer on the front of the game, like a sticker on it that was like airplanes crashing or something like that, like you know, like you know what I mean, like parental warning, anything like that. And I was just like, I thought that was so strange as a kid. Never saw it after that, but yeah. Anyway, didn't mean to bring the room down, but great list. I just wanted, before I have you go, one thing that we did make an admission: no one has mentioned Super Smash Brothers, and that's true, and it's shocking to me. And this is why we need a bracket for this. This is why we need a bracket for this.
Idea for how you can break up the bracket a little. How you do your regions? The region by console.
Oh, so console exclusive. Well, then how do you handle games that are across console though? Like where do you put Call of Duty?
A wild card bracket.
Okay, so you do an Xbox, a Nintendo, a Sony, and then everyone else.
Yeah, because there's only like the 3 of them. Really,
and you put the PC in the everyone else category with the crossplay guys. Okay.
Yeah.
There's something there. There's something there. Well, Mario just has to go in the Nintendo bracket, McLean. We'll say Mario needs its own region. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of Mario games, but I think you just gotta put Mario in. And I mean, Mario's got to beat up Link. Good luck. I mean, good luck. In Star Fox and everybody.
But I played Melee or Smash or anything. You know who my main was? Pikachu.
Oh, that's a good one. Pikachu's a good one. I like playing Pikachu. That down A or down C, whatever button where the lightning bolt comes down, that thing fucked people up.
Yep,
great move.
Samus were my mains.
I was never good with Samus. I liked Link. I'm a basic bitch. I liked Link. I liked in the GameCube version. I liked Marth. I don't remember. I never even knew what he was in, but he was like some Nintendo character from, I think, Fire Emblem. But he was a cool character.
Did you and your friends have a similar rule to me and my friends where Meta Knight was not allowed?
No, but that wasn't like an issue. Luckily, that wasn't so much of an issue. Yeah, I had the friends where we would like when we played Madden against each other on N64. We would like one of us would have to be under like a blanket or something like next to the TV so that we couldn't see each other's calling plays, like shit like that, because those bastards would totally like look.
You'd use some cardboard,
right? Yeah, like the Capri Sun box, unflattened, something like that. Yeah, or flattened out. Yeah.
Just yelling
at
screen watching.
Amazing list, Jared. I'm gonna try to get us out of here before 3 hours. So in order to do that, we need to get to this damn wheel here soon. So I am going to. I'm going to bring everyone back. And I think if Addie's not asleep already, then we're going to get to the wheel with you and Brady and Addie, and we'll get going. Sound good?
Sound good, brother.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you to everyone who's been hanging out. We have been going a long time tonight, but we're going to wrap up here soon by spinning the wheel. I'm going to be smart and pull the wheel up on the computer Dora that I can actually show to people. There we go. So we got the wheel ready. We're going to bring everybody back. Thank you, everyone who's been hanging out. Follow your boy, Producer Steve, on Blue Sky if you're not already. Thank you so much to everyone who's liked the video, who's subscribed to the channel. You can find Producer Steve on TikTok now because we're doing that experiment, so that'll be fun. I've actually posted a couple of shorts that are in draft mode still on the YouTube page. We're still in review there, but I went ahead and posted them on TikTok just to start seeing what that does to our Blathering algorithm and how that affects things. I want to see if I start getting like squirrel videos fed to me now. So this will continue to be an interesting little social experiment. What is TikTok really like out in the wild? It's like National Geographic, but for social media. So, yeah, the 3 hour producer's cut is it's not tonight, Brady. We're not going 3 hours. We're gonna get close, but we're not going for the 3 hour producer's cut. And I don't want to get yelled at by Addie any more than I already did on Blue Sky this week for my producer cut type of opinions. So anyway, we're gonna go to the wheel here. Let me pull up my wheel presentation. I'm going to add it to the screen here. All right, everybody. Adding the wheel. We're going to go full screen on it. We're going to bring everybody back. Is everyone ready to come back on? Alrighty, thank you so much. I think Addie is about to go to bed, so good thing we've got her in time. Brady, your mic is hot. I know no camera. That's all good, but you are here. Osvetna says, just don't assimilate in your research. I'm going to do my best, buddy. I'm going to do my best. So, are you guys ready for some wheel spinning?
Let's do it.
Sir.
Thank you all so much again for being here. I appreciate you all. You guys are the best. Everyone who's still in the chat and been hanging out. It's 11:41 Eastern on a Saturday night. You guys are so cool. Thanks for always showing up. I'm so fortunate that we are able to do this kind of stuff and that I can go live on this thing and I'm not just talking to myself for 2 hours. I'm not just staring at a camera that has just me looking at it and then I talk to myself and then I get sad and play Magic. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, and anyway, just wanted to say that we're here because you guys. I just hit go so that we have a place to hang out. So
I'm gonna say we're here because you press live.
Exactly. Yeah, someone's got to hit the button. So I'm happy to provide that labor.
In the wheel.
Exactly. All right. So Addie's gonna pass out. Addie, you're gonna go first on the wheel. Does that sound good?
I'm not going to pass out. I'm just comfortable.
You're comfortable. Okay. That's famous last words. It would be really funny though if we just went back and we just heard Addie snoring subtly. All right, here we go. Addie, this is your wheel spin, and remember, if you guys joined us last time, we do the wheels. The wheel spins are sacred now, so we're gonna spin this wheel. And Addie, you're gonna be the only person who does this wheel thingy, and then Jared is gonna spin next, and he's gonna have his own wheel thingy as well. So, a couple of new things on the wheel this week. Here is our list. I'm just gonna run through it really quickly. This year in history. Better, and I'll explain it when it actually happens, but you'll get at least an idea of when I say it here. This year in history, better back then. What are you watching? Show and tell. Brady, if you get show and tell, we'll figure something out. Top 3 cookout foods. Last time you blank blank blank. Sell me something. Unpopular opinion. One must go. Red flags. Celebrity dinner party. Did you know? And a job in a fantasy world. So, Addie, you are our first wheel spin. Oh, and don't let me forget, folks, we have wheel music this time. Yes, we do. We've got big band wheel music here on Blathering Backstage.
Love it.
Are you ready for your wheel spin, Addie?
Spin that wheel.
Hell yeah, we're spinning the wheel. Last time you blank blank blank. So Addie, this is the last time you did something. This is really anything you want to share. The last time you did something very unique or questionable or controversial, something that would be very surprising to everybody. Did you do anything at Disney World that maybe would have catch us off guard? Anything that you made of
I'm trying real hard. You think you're vanilla.
Well, here, you can consult Shady about it for just a moment.
Oh man.
Jared, what do you think Addie hasn't done in a long time?
Swear.
Oh no, I fucking swear all the time.
Good answer.
I can't even. I'm such a boring. I can't even think of it. I don't know.
All right, we'll come back to you. How's that?
Any experiments later?
No.
Well,
And you guys would expect that.
That's fair. Okay, how about when was the last time you cried in a movie theater?
I saw Lilo and Stitch on Tuesday.
Good answer. Okay. All right.
You're the
Good one.
first one to say something positive.
I cried like 3 separate times. Oh, it was,
Okay, wow.
It was so good, Jared. I really enjoyed it. But I realized because I went with some girls who are like 10 years younger than I am, that I was not like that movie was not a childhood staple for me. I didn't see that movie until much later because like it was sort of like Ken with the Lion King. Like I was a teenager when that movie came out. So I don't have the like nostalgia holding it sacred that
Right.
other people. I thought the live action was very good. It was delightful.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
Good.
one, Addie. The original is not as sacred to me.
Yeah.
I watched that 100 times.
We have a great mix on the generational divide here. Sinner has a great point. Can we vote on multiple choice? Do you mean multiple choice on like the last time, or do you just mean like on a wheel thing? Help me help you. If the chat that's not calling in wants to get in on the wheel action, I am more than happy to somehow facilitate that. But that's also the juice about calling in, folks. Get in here and you can spin the friggin' wheel.
Steve doesn't
This is
bite
also
hard.
not hard. This is caller school too. You know what I mean? Like this, you don't have to be a channel member or anything. The link it's faux free up there in the thing, and you'll spin the wheel. But if you're nervous about calling into shows and stuff, just get in here. I'll talk you through you. I'll teach you how to play the notes, baby. We got this. Like you're too nervous to talk to big man Ken. You know, just talk to old producer Steve first, and I'll help you out. It's not hard. You just get in here, you ask, should the steroid guys be allowed in the Hall of Fame? I'll hang up and listen. See you later. It's easy. We're just playing notes. All right. Anyway, Addie, thank you so much for your attempt at an answer. You did fine. You did fine. All right, Jared, you ready to spin the wheel?
I'm very tired. I'm very
It's okay.
sleepy.
Hey, you made it. So, Addie, at this point, if you need to Irish goodbye, we won't be disappointed. You fulfilled your promise. The nap did its job. Thank you, Addie. Appreciate
We
you.
hold your oath fulfilled.
Your oath is fulfilled. Be at
Watch
peace.
us end.
But I'm not trying to shoot you. I'm not trying to shoot you off. Please hang out. Okay, Jared, you ready for your wheel spin?
Let's do it.
I like our wheel music. You gotta tell me if this is a good level too. If this is too loud or anything. Did you know? Okay.
Ooh.
Did you know, Jared? You need to tell us something that we don't know.
Did you know I used to cut up cadavers for scientific research?
What?
That's
I
the
did not.
nicest way I can
That
say it.
went a completely different direction than I thought it was going to.
So we're all going to answer the question really quickly. No, we did not know that. I think I can speak for everyone on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So you know how they say context is everything, Jared? Can you go ahead and provide that so that this channel doesn't get I don't get the FBI knocking on my door but tomorrow? It's Sunday
It's
after
really
all.
not that strange, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, so what would happen is,
Laser's got a good one. Sorry.
oh,
Explain
no, you're
yourself,
good.
sir.
So I worked for a company that you would go around. They would go around and get people to donate their body to science. So after they died, they within a week got to me, and then I turned
Okay.
them into the itty bitty parts that doctors and orthopedic companies got to play with.
And by play, you mean research and
Yeah.
things that aid
Yeah.
in life-saving medical
Yeah,
procedures.
pretty much everything. Pretty much all our clients was orthopedic based. So
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's how you play the game, folks. I'm just saying, that's how you do it.
Oh,
right there.
you-
That's how it's
without
done.
even. I mean, obviously, the easy way is to just give gruesome details about the job, but that's too easy.
No,
This is
let's
the
no,
fun
no,
one.
no, no, no.
This is the fun way. So, what you don't realize is I would also take freshly. It's called procurement. So I would take freshly procured specimens to medical conferences to set up for live demonstrations that they would do and stuff like that. They have these at hotels where across the hall in the next conference is the dance recitals for the girls and youth soccer trophies in the one next door. So people don't realize they see me walking through the halls to go check in with coolers, and inside these coolers are parts of people. And not I'm talking I would go to New York City, Manhattan 3-4 times a month to like these 5-star, like $600-700 a night hotels.
Jared, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't be offended. Are you a vampire?
No, I age.
Okay. You look great for your age, by the way, but for what you say your age is. But if you were a vampire, sweet gig is all I'm saying. Like, you'd have it made.
I think
Go ahead,
procurement is very much the wrong word.
Well, I have a story about procurement. The way I learned about the word procurement was from the show True Blood, when the main character Bill described himself as a procurer for his like little vampire club in Louisiana, where he was the dude who got new people to be vampires for his vampire lady pimp. So that's how I learned about the word procurement. But go ahead, Abby.
I have never heard the word procurement used in that context.
It's I see, because of that, I knew exactly what Jared was talking about.
Yeah, no, that's what we did.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, True Blood, great show for like the first, I don't know, 4 seasons ish. Then it really gets off the rails.
I have medical stories out the wazoo. I did medicine.
I'm sure.
For 15 years in different fields, from the operating room to the cadaver lab to nursing homes to trauma responding. I got stories that would get us banned from YouTube.
Okay, well, we don't want that, but think about a good one. Think about a good one that might be good for like a plane ride, and maybe we'll talk about dead people on one of your airplane when we do a laser bolt co-stream where we interview you guys in the air.
The best thing about it is when people hear it, it's like they immediately go, "How do you do that job?" I'm like, if you only saw us, and there was only 3 of us in the office doing this. Very nice setup, good money and whatnot. And during the first half of the day, in the morning, was usually sports radio, hearing how all the boys did. And then the second half of the day, after lunch and whatnot, we would talk the latest Game of Thrones. So
nice. So right in your wheelhouse.
Dissecting a person while discussing the Red Wedding.
There's few contexts where I guess it's appropriate, but I guess we found one. I was not expecting that to go there, Jared, but I appreciate I appreciate your colorfulness and candor, and that's a hell of a story, my friend.
Yeah, but you could do the Star Wars D-Lim with nothing more than a 60mm scalpel in about 30 seconds.
Huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Doesn't take much to take an arm off.
I didn't. The bone is that easy to cut through, huh?
Oh, not the bone, the joints, ligaments. Stuff
you just go through at the joints and kind of cheat that way. Yeah.
Because it's one of those.
It's
one thing to see it in a biology book of like, hey, the skeleton's held together by ligaments. It's another thing to realize a 1-inch scalpel is all that separates your arm from you.
Okay. Well. Thank you for that, Jared. The human body is a fragile and beautiful thing, and I am not going to go anywhere near you with a knife anytime soon. So with that being said, thank you for playing with the wheel. I'm going to step away figuratively and metaphorically and go now on over to Brady. Brady, are you ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah.
I gotta set the bar somewhere.
That you did, my friend, and that I was not worried about at all. All right, Brady, let's spin the wheel.
Spin.
Watch, it's gonna be show and tell just to piss us off. Unpopular opinion. This is gonna be hard for Brady.
Oh man,
this is gonna be hard for Brady because I feel like Brady is a man of the people. But Brady, what's your unpopular opinion? What are you gonna say that's gonna piss the rest of us off?
Well, I already did one unpopular opinion with NBA on TNT.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. You did. But that you got to do another one because that doesn't count.
Another one. Damn.
Unless you want another wheel spin. Do you want another wheel spin instead? I'll give it to you. I'm a generous god.
The price of another wheel spin?
The price of a wheel? Nothing. I'm a generous host.
Or yeah, let's do another wheel spin.
All right, let's do a wheel spin. All right. It's fair. You're on your popular opinion is the NBA and TNT. You don't like the NBA and TNT. I've literally never heard anyone else say that, so that's fine. We talked about it earlier in the show. Let's give you something else. Oh no, this is it. This is Brady's nemesis. Oh, this is what happens when you ask for the mulligan, Brady. This is what happens when you ask for the mulligan, my friend.
Okay.
Tell me something, Brady.
Just go for it. Don't think. First thing that
Don't
comes
think
to
about
mind.
it. Just tell me something.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, buying a 3DS in the year of our Lord 2025. I literally because I have a 3DS in front of me. Yeah, the 3DS is if you get a memory card, you can put like 64 gigabyte memory card, and if you mod it, you can basically get the entire library for the 3DS. At your fingertips.
Okay. Is that all you got?
Oh jeez. God damn it.
You did not just Don Draper.
Oh, Jesus. Right. You know what, Don? I'm not hiding a family. I'm not.
No, you're Don. You're Don. In
You're
this
supposed to be Don. I'm trying to
situation,
help you, Brady. I'm trying to hype you up. This is you, man. This is you. You're not on camera, so this is your representation.
Okay, so, what is that episode? Nostalgia. It is beautiful yet potent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can play like all your games, like all your handheld games from Game Boy Advance to like the Game Boy.
Okay.
Tip of your fingertips in the 3DS. And because the storage space is so low for each of these games, just a 64 gigabyte SD card, even a 32 gigabyte SD card, you can literally play almost all of handheld history on just one system.
Well, now I'm gonna be the asshole who's yelling who's yelling back at Don Draper because I don't want to spend all that money on your fucking outdated and antiquated drawings for magazines. Why wouldn't I just get a Switch?
Because a Switch is less. It is a bigger system. It is not. It does not fit in your hand as well as a 3DS.
Oh, okay. So it's like light cigarettes versus big, thick giants. So you're saying like there's slim and there's some joke there. Mad Men did a thing about that, like the thinner cigarettes. But anyway, yeah, I see where you're going. So it can fit in your pocket. It fits in your pocket. It's like M&Ms. It melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Yep.
The 3DS fits in your pocket, not in your briefcase, the way the Switch has to.
On the go.
I got it.
And your Switch is a little bit harder to mod than your 3DS because you still got your account and you might break your system. Whereas a 3DS,
right.
You can just do it.
Yeah. Not wrong. JMB, it's after about 2 hours, the lights in my room really start to just literally bake me. So that's why the glasses just don't work after that hour and a half mark. But you did well.
Don Draper is staring at me intensely.
He's staring at all of us.
What is this 3DS thing? Like, why do you want a 3D system?
Who do we think is the better salesman, Don Draper or Jordan Belford?
Don Draper, every day of the week.
I don't know who these people are.
Brady, Addie, you've never seen Mad Men?
I watched one episode of Mad Men. I couldn't get into it.
Was it the pilot?
Probably.
Oh man, because that's like one of the best pilots ever, in my opinion. The first episode of Mad Men is one of the best first episodes of TV ever. So if you didn't like that, then yeah, you're not gonna like it.
I don't like watching TV with the historical context of how all the women get treated on that show.
Oh no, I get it. No. It's one of those shows where everyone's a shithead. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the. It definitely was the height of the era of everyone's an anti-hero.
I can't I also hear great things about White Lotus. I can't watch television shows where I don't like anyone on the show.
Oh,
where everyone is a horrible person.
I have to fight back on that one because White Lotus is. I do enjoy, and that's it for the wheel for everyone for this evening. So thank you again, everyone, for playing the wheel. I love White Lotus. I think that show is great.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Look at the timer.
I know it's midnight. I know, but we got pretty damn close. We got pretty damn close.
We got the
I know.
producer's cut.
Yeah, you did. You did. You got the producer's cut. But
see, the ultimate
What's that?
goal is to get the return. The ultimate goal is to get the Return of the King extended edition cut.
the extended edition, we'll never go. No, we're not going to go for it.
Which Steve thinks is terrible, and he's wrong.
That's not true. I never said it was terrible. Addie, we're not going to have this discussion tonight. We'll save this for another. We'll save this for another backstage. But yeah, I had to take that because there was like something on Blue Sky that was like say something that's like your unpopular opinion, kind of like what we did tonight, and it was the theatrical versions are better than the extended editions. That's my opinion when it comes to the Lord of the Rings. I think they're better.
I chastised him and
She
just
did.
said you're wrong.
Publicly. She publicly whipped me. She publicly was like, she didn't even like the post. She just replied and was like, "No, you're wrong, dude." That's it. It was harsh. I love it. But
Addie,
that's my
real
take.
quick.
So yeah.
You Swifties are making me nervous with calling her mother. As a man who loved the Alien films, don't you know that's not a really good one to go by.
Never seen those either.
Oh, mother is the
geez.
very
All right.
evil computer.
Okay. I know.
I also got in trouble at Lilo and Stitch this week because I've never seen E.T.
Okay. This is making me think of something.
You need
This is another-
tissues for that one.
Here's another backstage idea here. I think there may be an opportunity here to do. I know Ken hates reaction content, so this is more of a commentary content. We're gonna do movies Addie's never seen, but the rest of us have, and so maybe we'll watch a movie with Addie, with like some of us in the audience here, and the rest of us will be commentating. But it'll be the worst of both worlds. We'll get both commentary and reaction from Addie. Addie? Would you be down for that?
Yes.
I don't want to put you on the spot. You can lie. Just lie and say yes for the sake of good TV.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Thank you.
The thing I worry about with some of these movies is that like the window for which I would enjoy them has passed. So,
we'll let you pick. I'm not going to torture you with movies I don't think you'll like, but yeah, it's fine.
I saw
I know what you mean.
Ghostbusters for the first time like 5 years ago, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, we'll make sure we have a good roster. We'll make sure that we pick something that's going to be interesting for you. And yeah, I think it would be fun to we just put like a time code or whatever, and we can all we'll do stuff with we can do stuff with Discord, all that kind of jazz. But yeah, we'll do a behind the blather watching the thing together and get Addie's reaction to the movies we've all seen except for her.
Yes, DS9.
No, this is not how you sneak that in. It's not happening.
Let's go.
It's not happening. This is not how that happens. Yeah, right. Backstage gonna blow one. Don't tell Ken. No, it's not. We're not doing reaction content. That's not the idea. It is.
But then we get to do thumbnails like.
I know, right? Commentary is different. Commentary is very different. Anyway,
Addie's got it.
Addie gets it. Addie, yeah, right. Yeah, she gets it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you spending your Saturday night with us. We went over 3 hours. You got what you wanted. So congratulations, but we're going to wrap things up here soon. But thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We always kind of do these things on short notice. I really want to try to get these scheduled a little bit ahead in advance so we can get some more folks in here and some more callers to hang out and chat. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love you guys. I always want you here, but I'd just love to see more and more folks here from Ken's community so that we can, especially if you're too like nervous to call into Ken's show, or if you're not a channel member yet and you want to, use this as your laboratory to come up with ideas just kind of like I do, that would be awesome. So thank you, Addie. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Osvetnik, everyone who joined us this evening. You guys are all awesome. So I am going to say goodbye to you guys here, and we will wrap things up. So thank you again so much, and I'll be talking to you soon. Hopefully we have a Blathering on Monday with Mr. Ken. So thank you. Have a good evening, guys.
You too, guys. Stay safe.
Alrighty. Brady was saying goodnight. I think I cut him off there right at the end. I'm so sorry, Brady. But thank you guys all for being here this evening. That's going to do it for us. We're over that 3 hour mark. I'm just rambling at this point anyway. Usually after about 2:30, I think I just am on autopilot when it comes to talking to stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm still listening and everything, but I would, if you asked me what we were talking about an hour and a half ago, I think I'd probably struggle to do it. But I had a ton of fun. Everyone who is watching, everyone who called in, thank you so much again. We had some good talks about our favorite video games. We had some good time on the wheel. So yeah, it was a good time on a Saturday night. And stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video. This channel is very humble, very small, but we're trying to get there. Check out Producer Steve on Blue Sky and now on TikTok, where we're doing our my little TikTok experiment. So if you follow me on TikTok, you can kind of see how that unfolds. I might post some commentary about what TikTok is feeding to me, but I'm putting some shorts there right now from Blathering stuff. So there's some squirrel stuff there, some shit with from the Blathering that we're putting on there just to start seeing what the algorithm does. So that's a fun little project. Mini blather brackets will be coming, I don't know about soon, but that's on the radar. This backstage stuff has showed exactly what we wanted it to, from okay, what would be some good ideas for brackets and stuff like that. So it seems like video games is a real winner, because we got lots of candidates and way more than I thought too. That's like going to be a bigger bracket than I was expecting. So good stuff like that. So thank you again to everybody. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. If you're not watching live and you're watching this later on, that's fucking amazing, especially if you made it all the way to here. You're super cool. Like the video, leave a comment, even if you're just saying hi. We want to get the backstage going and grooving so we can have even more fun. And it's all because of you guys. You guys make it great. So thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe. Be good to each other. Take care. Thank you.